This program is rated MA. It contains adult themes, coarse language, sexual references, and violence.
All right, what's up, everybody? It's Friday night. It's time for some open comms. We got a full house tonight. Okay, so hope you like the intro. So we got Dirk here. Jesus Christ. We got Dirk here.
Jesus is here. Holy shit.
Yeah, we got Jesus Christ.
Cheese and rice.
So yeah, Dirk's here. I'm here. We got Rain here. And I'm Drayden, if you don't know. We got Blastum here. Then we also have House Sando joining us again. How's it going, man?
Going all right. How you guys doing?
Good. And then CSM candidate moderator. You're going to be announcing the AT as well, aren't
you? We'll get to that later, actually.
Okay. Well, moderator's here. How's it going? And then we have Lazarus, Tell Raven, back. How's it going, man?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Getting off to a lively start. Hey, it's Memorial Day weekend. Hence the intro there. What the fuck? I don't know what the hell I was thinking when I got home today, but whatever.
I missed the intro. I actually couldn't remember the actual INN stream, so I'm sitting there googling Imperium News Twitch, and so I missed the intro.
It was Miley Cyrus party in the USA.
Yeah,
that it was. But anyway, yes.
Well, and then we finished it off with the opening words to "This Is America" by Childish Gambino.
Yes.
This is abysmal.
Bang! This is America.
I went to like a club the other day to dance, and they actually played that, and I was like, I don't think you really want to be playing this. Like, it's not really a song you dance to.
I got $10 saying there's still girls twerking to it. Wasn't there?
Oh, I did not see anyone twerk, and I was not twerking. So
I was twerking to it.
Well, dancing to "This Is America."
Yeah, like the DJ started playing.
Do they have like a remix out or?
Apparently, so I was just like, are they saying "This Is America"? I was like, why are they playing this song? It was kind of weird.
You can make a version out of anything.
That's true.
Anyways, yeah, so good to have Laz here tonight. Haven't seen Laz in fucking ever, as well as moderator who's been he was here a few weeks ago, if I recall, but a few weeks now, maybe a couple months, but whatever. Anyways, Laz, what have you been up to? Like, what have you been up to since the last E Vegas I saw you at?
That was actually 2 years ago. Actually, yeah, that was 2 years ago.
Was that 2 or was it 3?
I think it may have been 3.
It was. Are you sure?
Actually, no, it might have been 3.
It was 3 because that was the year you were feeding me water.
No, I wouldn't.
No, that was the first.
Yeah, you're thinking 4 years ago.
Oh, damn! It's been
besides that fuckboy wave you've been growing out, what else been going on?
Wow, shots fired. Basically, I've been just kind of doing real life. I got a big promotion at work, so I took away a lot of time, and then I just kind of fell out of video games. Like before I actually got back into Eve this go around, I had not played any video games for about a month and a half, 2 months. So like literally no video games, which is kind of odd for me because I usually play a different game every week. But now I'm back into Eve, having fun and just shooting the shit.
Yeah, I mean, when you kind of disappeared, you'd left the Mtani.com Twitch and gone off on your own, and you'd been streaming games like fucking like every day, I think it was at that point, and then all of a sudden it was just kind of like you were gone, and I know you were away. I know you were doing stuff for work and shit like that, but yeah, I mean that was a pretty much cold turkey type of thing you did.
I was one of your viewers.
I get super burnt out on the stream. I kind of get in my own head and felt like I wasn't putting up good content for my stream, and it affected me, and so I kind of just stepped away for a bit.
good to see that you're back. Where are you these days? Are you still with AMOC or?
No, I was purged.
Okay, I was gonna ask
I get kicked from AMOC.
Yeah, because I thought you left and then came over to Origin, and then people are saying, no, he got kicked. I was like, they wouldn't fucking kick Laz. There's no fucking way.
No, I get kicked. I didn't have all my NPC alts registered, so I get kicked.
Oh,
If
damn.
it makes you feel better, Laz. So I'm in Karma Fleet, so I have an alt in Karma Fleet, and only my alt. There's technically 2 on the account, and so when I saw that you got kicked, I went in and re-authed myself, and they have yet to kick me, and I have 0 paps or whatever they are. I participate in no fleets. I get really drunk, join ratting standing fleet, and I just shitpost to people. And I for some reason I'm not kicked. So if that makes you feel any better,
I'm glad I
so
could
kind of
help
like
you.
karma.
It reminds you to update your auth. I'm now the ESI director in Origin.
Oh, so you know all about this whole ESI thing?
I was gonna say,
no, I don't know anything about it.
I heard someone mention that we're gonna start doing PAPs in Origin. Say it ain't so.
no, we're not. I don't think so.
PAPs are the fucking best, man.
PAPs take me back. I haven't been in an alliance that does PAPs.
Although
in
towards
2
the end,
years.
they're the goon PAPs got better because you didn't actually have to click anything. They did everything API wise. So as long as you were just on the fleet, the FC put in the PAP thing, and it just took count of who all was in the fleet and what they were flying. So if you were on the fleet, you got a PAP automatically.
How do PAPs work now that they took away the third-party apps?
Well, they didn't take them away. They just it's ESI based now, so
it's based another
it's just
way.
different coding. I'm assuming. I don't do any programming, but it's
apps, not PAPs.
It's apps,
or
not
PAPs,
apps.
not apps.
Well, since joining BL, the ESI stuff actually made doing all the services stuff really easy. So it's actually not that bad.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty much just log in and fucking click. You don't have to go copy all the long ass codes and shit and.
Well, that being said, I tried
those
to install the new EveMon today, and I tried to put one of my alpha characters on there. I'm trying to inject into a super, and I can't link EveMon to ESI because it's not Omega, I don't think.
Yeah.
which sucks.
Well, there's that. Okay, so and just to kind of like flip on that. There is a version of EveMon that I think it's in beta at the moment that is available out there. However, in order to use it, you've basically got to go out and get your own third-party dev agreement type thing for you to be able to use it appropriately. Because there's no way for them, the way it's being done, there's no way for them as a third party to do it for everybody, or they're not willing to do it in a way that will work for everybody, to where they're basically the third party dev holder. So you'd have to go out and get your own agreement and all that kind of stuff in order to be able to put your token in. But there is a version out there for those people who are really wanting some
desperate for it. I've got it. I'm running it. The only bug I've got with it keeps telling me that I've completed 560 skills. So it just keeps repeating and gives me notification every day or so that I've completed 500 skills. So it's kind of frustrating.
Nice.
Yeah.
So every day or so you get happy. You're like, oh damn.
Yeah, well, great. I get that notification, but no.
And Rizza for Shizza just reset for 13 months. Thanks, man.
13 months. But moderator, so you're running for CSM, bro.
Yeah.
Tell us about your candidacy.
Well, my candidacy has had to take a couple steps back because I've been dealing with the end of my finals this semester and some real-life emergencies. On the whole, though, mostly I'm in the process of just working on continuing to canvas, doing obviously media appearances like this tonight, and I've got a blog that will release the day before the patch, which we'll be discussing later, talking about the impact of the Triglavian mods, specifically what the Metaplasmids will do mechanically and for the economy.
Wow, that should be a reasonably deep blog then.
It's been taking me a little while to put together. Things have changed over time, and new stuff has come out that's kind of invalidated some of what I had written previously, so I wanted to make sure I had a really good piece before I actually released it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing, it's one thing kind of to talk about the mods themselves, right? What the ships or what the weaponry or even kind of the muta mods that you can spin up or whatever. It's another thing to be talking about what they'll do for the economy. So I'll be interested to see what you've got on that.
Well, that
Have you got any numbers yet as far as chances and probabilities on the mutations yet?
So what Rise indicated at FanFest and what appears to be borne out through what we've seen on CC is that the distribution of probability for where your rolls will be a flat distribution. And that's part of, without spoiling too much of the blog piece itself, that's part of the inherent problem itself, is that it's not using some sort of a skew or some sort of a normal distribution. I realize if people who are watching this don't have a background in stats, all of that might not make sense, but I'll be sure to clarify all of that in the actual piece itself.
Now,
cool.
As far as, like, you were talking about the economy with the mutaplasmids, and as far as tracking them, that's going to be a bit more difficult since they're only going to be able to be sold, not the mutaplasmids themselves, but I mean the modules that they're using. They're going to be only be able to be done through contracts, which is not as easily tracked as the market, I would assume. So is there some kind of, third-party thing out there that's going to have something that can track stuff like that? Or is it... Because otherwise I don't know how you would track the economy impact with that.
Well, so what I'm talking about is what does it do for where would these be price pointed? Like, what's the range where these would get priced at? How will these interact with mods that aren't mutated? How do these interact with the supply of modules to mutate? How do these interact with existing officer modules? Things like that. But what you're discussing is how do you actually go on the market and how do you find and buy them? One of the people in chat actually mentioned that it's going to be like what faction modules used to be over half a decade ago, where you had to go on contracts and find them to buy them. So it's going to be difficult to access. I know that there are third-party tools for other games like Path of Exile that do actually track these sort of things with the Vault modules, which is basically the equivalent of what we've got with mutaplasmids in EVE. How difficult and whether that can be implemented is something that remains to be seen. I'm not someone who does development.
Right, well, and the other thing I was going to go on that is that I would feel it's a little bit different. It'd be a little bit even harder than the... Because I wasn't around for the old faction stuff, but those were like a set piece. Like, if you got this faction module, it had these stats, whereas these mutaplasmid ones, it's like, just because you used it on a 50 MN, like, cold gas micro warp drive, does not mean that two of those are going to have the same stats. And so if they have different stats, what's the value of each one? And is it, like, how are you going to... The only way you can compare the value of those is to those of the same rate, or find a value that you can set to certain differences in each stat. It's like...
There's going to be stats that matter that you're going to say whether
numbers,
this is a good... to where you can say this is a good mod or it is not, right? I mean, there are going to be certain stats, I think, in each of those mods that tell you this is on the good side of the ledger, right? I mean, and then other ones where it's like, that might be a bad stat, but it's a stat that probably doesn't matter.
It's going to be Scamtopia as soon as it starts, like Brisk is saying in the chat right now.
You're going to have some of that.
Yeah.
Well, that's with everything, though. People just have to pay attention and not be dumb about it.
Well, like I said, it'd be hard to almost know if you're getting scammed or not, because it's like, well, they're charging this price for this thing, which to me seems like it might be okay, but is that actually a decent price for the stats?
Yeah, contracts is a lot easier to scam people with.
And then it kind of gets to that compare tool that you have in the market. You can compare modules, but you won't be able to have
I don't know that you'll be able to do that with...
It might be hard with
you might be really harder.
I don't know that you're going to be able to do compare
those
tool.
Individual stats on each module.
Yeah, I don't know that you'll be able to do compare tool with this.
Accelerators all over again.
Well, yeah, because
like you may be able to bring up different. You may be able to bring up the stats of multiple ones that you're looking at to try and get a visual comparison or whatever. But I don't think you're going to be like right now you can sit there and compare Tech 2 to Tech 1 to this that and the other thing, officer mods and things like that, right? Because they're all set. I mean they've only got a few categories and they're all set. So this is not going to come up in compare tool. I don't think.
Well, DJ Kermit's saying, once it's evolved, good or bad, you won't be able to see it in the contracts, and you can't sell them on the market. So are you saying that
You
if
will
I'm
be
attempting to, I
apparently
thought
you
you
will
could
be
see
able
You'll
it.
to
be able to
see
see
them
the
in the
stats on the
contract.
contract.
stats.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was gonna say that
will
would
come.
completely screw everyone over. But I mean, it would create a third-party
you
market
just
then.
like Emerson said, you just show info on the when you open the contract, you show info on the item, and it'll tell you all the stats, and you can look at those.
Yeah,
and-
that's what I thought. And then that I think with the show info, it's red or green, like showing if it's better or worse than the original.
Will
like,
they
is
actually
that-
have
is
those
that-
colors on there? I wasn't sure. If that was just
I
a
thought that
display
was-
example they showed for the.
Oh, for FanFest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm wondering if they'll just be the normal white, and you'll just have to look and see if it's better or worse than what the normal module has.
Yeah, I haven't checked. So I've been running some of the sites as practice on CC because I really don't want to lose actual ships to them. But they're super fun. But I haven't tried the Metaplasmid like morphing
Okay,
shit
yeah,
at all.
Vertigo is saying the show info does have the colors, so that's helpful.
Yeah, so then it's just quantifying, which is going to be, I think, probably the most difficult part, quantifying the good versus bad stats. I
Yeah.
mean, because like you can have the materials that it would be plus the percentage of the chance, but then it's saying like how good is like this green fitting or this green bonus compared to anything else.
Right. Well, and also what they were saying before, like, is it a stat that's actually like impactful? I mean, like the thrust,
Yeah.
the thrust or whatever the thing for the micro warp tries to be more important than possibly your signature radius getting blown up a tiny bit.
I think it depends too. Plus, if I were to buy one, I would probably have to have a fit for it and then determine, okay, what would make this fit better? Like, do I need like less power grid or do I need XYZ, or can I afford to have something with like terrible like additional power grid or whatever the fuck?
I mean,
it
there
is?
may be some stuff on there, right? You know, and I guess it would depend on the buyer and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, you know, if you're buying a web or a scram or something like that, right? But you plan on putting it on a super capital, right? You might not give a shit about some of the other stats that that
Yeah.
are involved there.
Yeah, for sure.
So one of the things that Rain's hinting at is actually something that's hugely impactful, and I don't think is being discussed nearly enough, and something I'm going to want to cover, and I am covering, is that as a developer, how do you continue to balance ships around a set of modules that go from a known set value for their fitting costs, their damage, outputs, things like this, and signature radius, all these stats that matter and are how you can fine-tune balance to a very wide range of fitting, wide range of bonuses, and it makes it very difficult from a game design perspective. How do you actually balance ships around this?
Isn't that one of the main reasons why we're not doing like alliance ship, well, tournament ships after this next tournament for the most part? Like, isn't that why Fozzie wants to phase them out?
No,
Not quite.
but
no,
I mean,
CCP can't afford a Lions tournament ship, so.
well, I mean, Mod has a good point though. Like, so you have some ships that aren't the greatest in the game, and you have some ships that are better than others. So like, if you're thinking like, I'm thinking frigates, like Garmer is probably one of the like hands down the strongest frigate in the game. But it's like, okay, when people like say, hey, nerf the Garmer, does CCP nerf it for its normal stats, or does CCP, say nerf its fitting or nerf its bonuses? But then what does it matter if you can use these mods to just get the same or even a better Garmer than it was previously?
Right.
Or
Sorry.
the opposite. if you're-
Looney fucker just dropped 25 on us.
Thanks, Looney
Yeah,
fucker.
thanks,
But
Looney.
at the same time, what about the opposite?
Thank
Like if you have a
Well,
super weak ship and you try to buff it, do you take in consideration the fact that, well, if you buff the stat just a little, then that would drastically
Well, and
exponentially
the other thing
like
that,
increase something else based on these mods? Sorry.
Well, and
John.
also is they'd have to take into account the bonuses the ships get, because those get applied to the extra bonus that you've already got on the module. So if you have say a boost, you get an afterburner that's got a really nice boost to the speed, and then you take a ship that gets a boost to afterburner speed, you're getting like a double bonus, and so now it goes like almost, I don't know how much of an extra little bonus that would be, but it might be enough that it throws balance way out of whack. But
I do want to take us on an aside here real quick, but and it's to do a shot. It's not the one for Looney fucker because he was kind, and we do things for kindness sometimes. It's going to be for something else. But while we're doing that shot, I want to just kind of circle back to moderator so that he can kind of give an idea. Moderator, this is back to you being a CSM candidate. What do you think your kind of voter base is out there? What's the type of candidate you are for people who are looking for that type of candidate? And that's the question as we do this shot. But this shot's to Big Country, whose birthday is this Monday.
Yeah.
So to him.
Shots.
damn.
thought we'd missed it actually, and then I looked at my fucking calendar. I'm like, holy shit, it's this Monday.
Yeah, Skype tells me, but
yeah, moderator. So tell us a little bit about kind of like, you know, I don't want to say the platform you're running on, because I hate when people fucking run on platforms, but the type of player you are, and who should be kind of looking at you as somebody who should be on the CSM.
So I definitely agree that the idea of running on a platform is misguided and kind of betrays a fundamental misunderstanding of what the CSM actually is. But if I had to have a platform, or one thing I want to achieve is I want EVE Online to be a game that is still relevant in terms of population and health 5 years from now, that people are still playing. So especially as now that we have a new executive producer coming in, and now that part of the roadmap has been completed, I want to be able to give feedback in the kind of the wide variety of experiences that I have, and provide valuable, nuanced feedback on whatever CCP's roadmap is, and how to make that both profitable for themselves, but also healthy for the player base as a whole.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know you as somebody who's one of those guys that gets really dirt deep into kind of the numbers related to ships and things like that. I mean, you know, for those people out there who are really hardcore aficionados for that type of candidate, and having that kind of representation on the CSM, that's where I see you sort of fit in. Is you know kind of one of the ultra ship nerds in the game. I mean, and that's not said with any form of derision at all. I mean, we've got, with the players that we have in this game, we've got some people who are really in to the 18th decimal point that they can squeeze out of stuff and what will work. And I think that's kind of where you fit in.
Sure. I also obviously there are people who know me from the tournament. I've got that to benefit me as well. I'm probably the only really serious LoSec candidate that's running. I mean, not to take away from some of the other factional
You're with
candidates,
Snuff?
Yes, that's correct. And I've also got probably some bit of wormhole backing a little bit. I was in Toskers for about 1.5 years and have done a lot of C2, C5 stuff, and have lived in Thera as well. So I'm kind of understanding that landscape. But basically, the idea is that I've been most everywhere, and I'm someone who really digs into explaining why something will or will not be healthy for the game, and being communicative of that to the player base and interfacing between CCP. Similar in a way to what Gintana is doing currently.
And, well, I guess and Suetonia too.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, obviously.
Suetonia is another one of those people out there. Just I could throw it out there that it's kind of like, I'm not saying that you're the only person in the game that like fucking knows the numbers and shit like that. I mean, it's like, people like Suetonia as well, are also I think you fit into a similar category. I mean, he may also have like, a pun side of him that you don't necessarily have, but but like from the game knowledge kind of standpoint.
Pickup lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. They're kind of unmatched too.
They're absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely one of those people. Like so it's like when you do kind of alliance tournament type stuff. I mean, you're not the color commentator. You are one of the guys that are sitting there talking about actual details of things.
No, he does color commentary, but it's not the like. Point the fucking rape. Like, it's not that, but it's.
Well, that's what I mean by color commentary.
Yeah, it's not
color. It's not. It's color. It's not the actual lines.
But like, he describes what's going on and why it's going on and why it's working because of this and that. So it's like it's all like the informational like. Let me break it down to you so you actually get a little bit more than just seeing the health bars go down. Let me tell you why those health bars are going down.
He's the golf commentator, the one that's getting you all the angles and geometry just right and shit.
But I kind of wanted to bring up where he was coming from because I think it'll sort of play out as the night goes on here with some of the things that we're talking about. Sort of where his strengths lie. So if you're one of those types of players out there that are looking to vote for somebody with sort of a high degree of knowledge about various mechanics and sort of the detailed background, you may want to listen to what he's got to say here. But I do want to flip over to Laz, once again, just to ask him. Laz, having been away for a while and coming back to EVE, like how much has changed, and what do you think about this whole idea of random number generator mutamods and the Triglavians and all that stuff?
I think the Triglavian ships are actually pretty interesting. The mutamods I don't really like because a lot of people know I've played Black Desert Online. I've played Arcade. I mean, I know all about the random generated gear. Like it's a grind, and it's a money sink, and it basically only benefits the person that has the money to just sink into it over and over again to finally get to the best stats that they want. I don't think EVE needs that in the game. And I think people will realize that once it comes out. So we'll just have to wait and see once they finally release that. But otherwise, the game's been a lot of fun lately. The assault damage controls have really, really changed the meta, and hacks are back in play. You have I'm in Black Legion now, and we run around in Munins and
do you like
other ships all the time.
Munins are cool.
Munins are amazing.
Although oh, sorry, go ahead.
Although he's been gone so long, the Munin model has changed too.
Yeah,
that's true.
Go ahead. Sorry, you go.
But no, I mean, it's been a lot of fun coming back to the game. We've gotten a lot of small fights, and I've kind of found new enjoyment in the game, I guess, running around in these 50-man fleets every night.
It's a lot of fun, yes.
Do you find yourself trying to FC that you're back, or do you still let Elo take control on that?
I've actually called targets once, maybe twice, but usually I let Elo basically lead everything. I give suggestions every now and again, and and Elo either takes them in more or ignores them. I mean, some of them are good, some of them bad, obviously. I kind of feel the urge to FC coming back, but I really like being on a fleet and not having to take over the fleet because of dumb mistakes.
Yeah. Oh shit, Laz is in chat. I'm just saying anyway.
Elo's in chat.
I was like the first fleet I went on in
Elo's in chat.
Yeah, the first fleet I went on and Laz was there. Like we went on a fleet, and I don't even know how to turn out because I fly Logi, so it's like I don't even know how fast we're killing stuff or how all I know is like how fast we're losing people, and that's it. But we finished the fleet. We got
by how many
back.
times you say whoops?
Yeah, it's like, oh shit. Well, half the time it's not our fault. It's never the Logi's fault. Someone didn't broadcast fast enough.
Yeah, like Munins have the module that make them like practically in bold, and like half the idiots don't click it.
They have the don't headshot.
Well, that's what I love about that module, though. I love the player skill, and the player has to actually fucking pay attention.
That module is all about like the whole mentality behind jump fatigue. I don't want to do something now that might get me fatigued because I might want to do something later. I might want to use this DCU later. Oh shit, I died. I should have used it before.
It's like you're getting targeted. Everyone's like, it's like, and then when we try to lock them and it's like they get alpha, it's like that shouldn't be possible. You have the don't headshot me button, and they don't use it.
It's actually amazing too because we in the Logi channel just like will smack talk people, but at the same time like when players are really on the ball with the ADC, where it's like super beneficial to fleets because they'll drop and then we rep them back up and hold them, and then they switch targets and it just drops and we hold them and it's beautiful. Yeah, and then usually, usually Logi pay attention enough to where when we start dying, we're all like, oh, reps on so's like half the time. If we have like less than 10 people, we don't even have to broadcast because you usually have them all locked anyway.
Yeah. I have the worst luck when I fly Logi. Every time I fly Logi, I always end up getting primary.
Well,
it's the worst.
Every fucking time. Every fleet I've been on where I flew Logi, I've been on 7 Logi fleets. Every time I got primary first.
But no, when we got back from the fleet, though, I think Elo asked Laz, like, so how'd I do? Or how'd it go? And Laz was like, oh, it's pretty good. The position was a little off. I might have done this a little different. But you did all right. You did all right.
That was a little bit trolling, but it was actually a little bit tricky. If we came above the station instead of on top of the station, we could have actually maintained range better. Yeah, but I mean, like, Elo's easily top probably 3 or 4 FC in the game, like overall time. I mean, I still, in my opinion, think V is probably number 1, but Elo is, like I said, definitely top 3 to 5.
Yeah, it was just funny because it's like, Laz is, like you said, obviously like really good at the thing. And you come in, you're like, let me tell you, Padawan, you did okay, but you have room to improve.
No, it's been a lot of fun. All I do is troll the entire time.
Have you been exposed to the monitor yet, Les?
I'm actually the one who first started asking for the FC ship, the monitor, basically, 6 or 7 years ago at FanFest. I don't know if there's recordings of it, but in the Fleet Command Roundtable and the ship balancing roundtables, I asked for it because back then the main fleets were rock fleets, maelstroms, and stuff like that, and all you had for shield battleships FC from at the time were vultures, and vultures compared to the counterpart of Damnation had a lot less HP, and they could easily get alpha off the field. So I was just constantly asking for an FC ship to make it a little bit easier on the FCs to stay alive. So they finally came out with it. Again, I repeatedly asked for it year after year, and then once they released it, they didn't have probes, and I was like, "What, guys? Come on!"
Okay, so there's a lot of things in E that I want to say players ask for, or even the community asks for, or whatever, right? And then when something gets given to them based on that request, there's sometimes kind of a bit of a difference between what was asked for and what was gotten. What do you think about what was gotten from what was sort of asked for over the years?
Oh, you mean, am I happy with it now?
Yeah, I mean, from what you were personally asking for back in the day and what they came out with in terms of the monitor.
That's essentially what I was asking for. In theory, like when I first asked for it, I was asking for something in links, but then they meta shifted to where the links were being run by off-grid bonuses or off-grid boosters, and now they're being run by other people. Because back when I started asking for it, that was in the days where FCs were running six to 10 accounts because they're running the Bridge Titan, they're running the co-ops, they're running the Sinos, they're running the scouts. I mean, like I would have 10 to 12 accounts depending on the fight, and I'd have three ships in fleet for when one guy got headshot. I just swapped to another character and stuff like that. And that's when I started asking for the ship. But when they released it, I was actually really, really active in the Evil Line forum thread for the monitor. That it needed probes, and myself and Manny and Killabee and a lot of other of the larger FCs in the game were very very loud about the need for the probes, and that if it didn't have probes, it just wouldn't be useful except for just being a brick. But and a lot of people don't really
for being a target color. I mean that was going to be what it was.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of people were in that thread. Arguing back with us that it doesn't need probes. Well, if you need probes, fly something else. But if anyone says that, you can instantly tell they're not an FC because they don't realize how important probes on your main fleet command ship is.
Well, and also if the answer is if it needs probes, fly something else, that's the answer right there. It's like, if you're going to fly something else because it doesn't have probes, that means that it's not going to be used as an FC ship, and therefore it's not a good FC ship if none of the FCs are going to use it.
I think their intention was to come out with basically what was a target calling brick that didn't have these kind of extras, and kind of higher level FCs were saying, well, if it doesn't have the extras, then it wouldn't be useful to me. I will fly one of these other things, and instead of saying, well, then fly one of those other things, they basically said, okay, we'll give you that too. But I don't even know at this point whether or not these have become kind of what the sort of senior FC core out there is kind of tooling around in anyways. I mean, have they changed the meta in some way?
I think he's getting a special broadcast.
So yeah, they're pretty impactful. Snup's using them, at least RFCs who have the requisite skill points to actually fly the thing. I mean, I did a bit of a blog piece on this when the March patch was announced, and that they're hugely impactful, especially for shield doctrines, because what Laz was alluding to, the Vulture is just significantly worse than your armor options as a shield FC ship. So there needed to be something on the shield side that was at least more viable. I would have personally liked to see the Nighthawk or another ship get more stronger defensive bonus and lose offensive bonuses, but CCP went the route that they did, and it's been impactful so far. It's a good ship for what it does.
Why do they continue to hate Shield
That would have
so
actually
much?
made the Nighthawk useful, because the Nighthawk's been terrible for years and years and years and years.
Yeah, exactly.
Was
Give
it
them
ever
a fucking
good at
actual
any
role.
point?
Just have it be the FC ship, and have it not have anything offensive like the Vulture does.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen anyone fly a Nighthawk.
I'm trying.
They flew one?
There's some
They
PvE
flew one in
options
the
that
someone
AT
has
last
done
year,
that.
I think.
Okay,
But not as an
well,
FC
Didn't
ship.
in the AT.
I just want to say hi to Looney Fucker.
Yeah.
Hi,
How's it
Looney.
going?
Say, hey Looney, how's it going?
Hope you're having a great
You
night.
fucker.
Oh, and McLeod, like I said that in the thread as well. Most FCs don't care about kill mails. The horror paint or whatever they put on there wasn't really needed in McLeod. Probes was the only thing that was missing from the ship when they released it, or when they introduced it.
What do you think about Logi getting fucking kill mails?
It's been asked for
It's
for
fine.
what, like nearly a decade.
Almost, yeah.
Although
And
the
they
thing is, like, it's
Since the first Logi went out in a fleet, he said, "Can I get a kill?"
Bring a horde drone.
So here's the thing here's my
Shouldn't need
opinion
horde
on
drones.
the Logi thing is, like, I don't think they need kill mails, because I think if people are flying Logi now, they don't care about kill mails because they wouldn't be flying it if they did.
They should get save mails.
It's cool if they get them, because it's a way to track that. Yes, aside from like paplings or stuff like that, it's like, yes, I was in this fleet and I was participating, but
I think it shows a lot though too. Like if you have, I guess it depends how the Logi kill mail is going to be out, but if you have it on friendly allies, you show up as a Logi repping them.
I'm assuming
Because you can.
I didn't mean to get into a whole debate about.
No, I wanna get into the debate,
I didn't
sir.
mean to rehash what we
You
did a couple
fucking
months
asked
ago.
for it, Derek.
I meant to ask Laz, who's kind of like back, like things he
Laz is
didn't know before.
multitasking for a BL fleet.
I'm
With the Logi, you can see how much a ship tanks before it dies, which gives a lot of insight to what happens sort of in the fight. But I mean, it would also give a lot of insight as to like spies or people slacking or people doing X, Y, or Z. Because if you have a guy in Logi every fleet and he participates in the cap chain or he just anchors up but never actually fucking reps anyone, maybe he's not really working for the same team as you are.
Right. Well, I mean, and I assume that the kill mails are just gonna show, if you rep someone that then gets a kill, or that you're
Yeah.
gonna be on that kill
And, like-
mail. Will it show how much you rep them? Will it be like, you're on this kill and you repped this guy for this much? Like, is that gonna show up, or I don't know how they're gonna show that.
I don't know. Like I kind of wish it would, but at the same time, if you do that where allies assisting
Logi should
someone to
get
get
lost
on the
mails
kill,
too when they're repping somebody and they die while they're repping them.
Oh.
like
Oh.
Yeah, you suck,
oh,
man.
Completely
Shit,
shredded
that
their-
like
their
well,
kill
I
board.
point this way. To me, he's up there, but he's over
I
there.
don't hold on, and I don't mean like it hits their kill board, but like maybe it just hits the side of their ship where there's like a rip sign on it or something.
Well,
I
no,
mean,
no,
I don't know,
that's
the,
interesting, because like it's it's both sides of the coin. You want kill
Yeah.
mails for repping people that get kills. You got to get the lost mails for the people you don't save. That's I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you gotta
too.
know who sucks at Logi.
Yeah. I mean,
Put
well,
them in
can we get shame mails where like somebody just
Shame
did a
mails.
broadcast, like when they die
Shame.
and it shows their health,
Shame.
and then it's
Shame.
like I did a broadcast for reps or something. Like you can read the API
Yeah.
or the ESI that you were in a fleet.
yeah, well, like you have kill
Did
marks
you
on
come
your
up
ship.
with this one of your drunken comma fleet roams? Shame
Nah,
mails?
she's just a ratting all over there, I think.
Yeah, I'm just
So
writing
from
all
like a game design perspective, right? It makes sense that you want to do things that A, people have been asking for forever, and B, increase player investment and involvement in whatever action it is that they're doing. So if you're a Logi guy and you are someone who can point to, say, hey, I did this, I was there when this fleet happened, and they can talk about that with their friends, their fleet mates, that's just something that's good for CCP to do as development.
Yeah. Yeah, shame marks. That I was thinking the same thing, and Bleezy said that he's like, instead of kill marks, you got shame marks. So like make it be like a little,
Shame marks. There
yeah,
we
make
go.
it be like a bell on the side of your ship, like ding, shame, and
However, I do want to kind of scoot over because we do have some things to kind of like fucking get to. So, however, there's a Rain and Manic thingy like going on here. Rain, can you like tell us anything about kind of like these obscure tweets to where it's like Manic is out there wanting a bunch of guys to like slide into his DMs, and you're like, yeah, ladies, if you want to, come to me too.
I've done it. It's all a ruse, but it's worth it. He's got very nice surprises for all of us that So yeah, guys, contact Manic,
So if you-
and he'll give you a.
Do you have to
big
like for a
surprise.
DM or something, or
It's
what?
it's
They're
so
competing
it's
to
a
see who can make best chicken ranch.
so it's for it's a Streamfleet project. It'll be happening in July, so kind of keep that in mind. But yeah, definitely it's gonna be like guys contact Manic, girls contact me, and for the record, we have over 60 women for men who think that women don't play the game.
We've
So we
only
have
got
over
30
six-
guys. We need help, guys. Come
Yeah,
on.
so obviously you need more guys. If you know women, send them my way. It's gonna be a fun little project thing. More details will come out. It's
I think
definitely
next
gonna be
week,
a.
I think next week is when they're gonna announce the full.
Is it
shebang, so-
okay? Okay.
Wait,
Yeah.
We're saying there's no women that play Eve. We just outnumber you like 20-1.
Well, everyone's like, how many
They're
women
outnumbering
are there?
us.
And
2-1.
like a lot of people here are like, I can't count like more than 5 women on my hand. Like, I don't know how many women. There's like Rain and the Rain. Like that's all they do. And
Just
so it's
name
like
Rain 5
I
times.
have.
Those are just stalkers. Those
Rain
are
on
fanboys.
Monday, rain on Tuesday,
The fanboys
rain on
don't
Wednesday.
count.
Rain all the time.
I
And
don't
so
care
it's
how
like,
many of them call
Making
you
Making it
waifu.
rain.
I'm super smug because we have like a lot of women and they're like, oh, I know someone, and then like I have like a lot of people in my DMs. on
Because
my
half the
Discord.
men in Eve are probably sitting there going, "Hey, I'm with you." You know what I mean? It's like
No,
well,
these are
or
all.
Well, no,
half
no.
of the
Is
players.
there gonna be like a
never mind.
Ladies of Eve calendar?
Well,
Like what the hell's
they,
going on here right now?
No.
That also should probably be said. Now, they're gonna take it seriously. They're not gonna. Like, you can't just be like, I identify as a woman just to get on Rain's team. But the gender identification thing, they are taking that into
Yeah.
account. So if you're serious about it and you're honest about it,
Is
they
this
will.
well,
Yeah, trans
is
women
this
are
a
welcome.
team-based thing, or is this
Yeah,
like?
it's a team
I
based.
mean, because the way the tweets have come out is it's basically like, hey, men of Eve, contact me. Hey, women of Eve, contact me. Or whatever it was out there, boys, girls, whatever.
But yeah.
Wait. My question is, what about the team for otherkin? What if I identify as a fucking dragon? Where's my team?
I don't think we have that yet.
They don't have a fucking
I'll join your
dragon
team.
slot at the fucking moment.
Yeah,
But
we don't.
Racist.
We're not that open.
this
yet.
is not for a player meetup. Am I correct?
No, this is not
This
for
is not a
player.
player
Okay.
meetup. So
Just
yeah,
asking.
so
You're safe.
I'm
a-
asking
for a friend, Dirk?
No,
Are you asking for a friend?
It's a thing in July, but it's not. It's an in-game thing. It's not a player meetup, so don't think you have to travel anywhere. So if you're going to be available in the latter end of July to be, and I don't think I'm gonna give too much away. It's
Have
gonna be on a
fun.
Saturday. So if you have Saturdays open and you want to do it, if you're a guy, get a hold of Manic Velocity, whether you're on Twitter, Eve Mail, anyway, Discord, whatever, and then girl, get a hold of Rain.
I mean, 'cause I gotta be honest. I saw Manic's tweet the other day, and I sat there and went, "This is a little fucking Jonesy for me." You know what I mean? It's like I don't know what he's looking for other than men. You know what I mean? So it was just kind of like, I'm just gonna skip over this tweet and go right to the next fucking one.
Yeah,
It's
got
the,
Joshua
Was that my
Tree
tweet?
vibe.
casual
well-
counters of Eve.
Well, I mean, it's like, I'm not saying, that he's like that, but I'm just saying that, like, I saw the thing, it was too vague for saying, hey, I'm looking for a bunch of men, and then I saw Reigns come in, and, and then I saw the picture, and I'm like, okay, I feel like I can kind of figure out what's going on here, but I'm waiting to see how this sort of fleshes out, and I thought it was actually going to be announced tonight, sort of, how it was fleshing out, but we'll wait until next week.
They're
Because I have a bunch of fucking
well-
questions. I just have a slew of fucking questions.
So from what Manic told me, what's going to happen is the guys and girls will pair off and then they'll fly around Eve and go on anEve date.
Oh, it's a
That is
speed
It's
not
like
what
speed
happened.
Eve dating. I get it.
That is
Intercept
not
I
what
get
is
it.
no. No, that
Nice.
is not what is happening.
So
Laz.
that's
What
your
the
cure
fuck?
for the incel problem in Eve.
Shit.
Hey, fucking genius. Fucking genius.
Oh,
That is
no.
not what is happening.
Get in your Munins, we'll meet you in your Zealots.
But yeah, so let's throw this out there. Okay, look, if you identify as a male in this fucking game, not in the game, not your character, unless you are
You
a role
as a
player
person.
of that character or something along those lines, to the point where they can vet you out based on self-identification and all that kind of shit of either you the self or your persona type thing or whatever, then contact Manic Velocity. If not, contact Rain. they are putting together something that we have yet to be advised as to what exactly it is.
They're like I was told they're releasing it next week.
But this is fucking EVE Online. You can pretty much like understand exactly what it is. There's going to be a moon over here that the women are going to have to mine, and there's going to be a fucking moon over there that the men are going to have to fucking mine, and we're going to find out exactly who, like, you know, brings in the most amount of ore.
Yeah, who can?
Wait, that's my 8th grade dance all over again. Come on.
worry,
Girls on one side, boys on the other. What the hell?
Who wants trip pics?
Trip pics. Nobody wants trip pics.
Actually, Drayden, do you want to tell everyone what happened with the men? Like, I think that's a really funny story, and I'm pretty sure it's been leaked everywhere, so I think that's not NDA.
Are you talking about the bot thing?
It's literally not been leaked
Bot
anywhere.
thing.
Oh, well, okay, I think that's fine. In the Discord channel, we have this bot that if you go ! penis space and then at your name in Discord, then the bot replies with, you know, like the 8 and then equal signs and then the, you know,
and it's highly
it
accurate,
makes it makes a chat penis, but the number of equal signs is variable, so it could give you like a really long one, you know, average. And it was unfortunate because I saw these people in the Discord doing it, and they're all getting like, you know, 10 to 12 equal signs. I'm like, I'll do it, and it gave me 2 equal signs, so I am like a micro dick in that channel.
You do know how that works, right? It's not random.
It's real. No, it's real.
It has to do with your number of characters in your name. The longer your name is, the shorter your dick is.
I was sad because it's accurate. Yeah, I was like, oh, it knows. It knows me.
That was why you got okay, we now figured it out.
He's like, the bot gave me a short dick. I'm like, no, your mom gave you a short dick. You know, whatever.
Damn it, Mom.
So the women do not have that. Instead, we have a channel for kittens and puppies. So.
Oh, that's definitely.
It's actually really cute. Everyone keeps posting.
See, and that's why you've got 60 and they've got 30, because most guys don't want to know how short their fucking dick is, and you've got kittens and puppies.
Women are like, look at these cute animals. Guys are like, check out my dick.
Even I'm joining your fucking team. If I gotta fucking identify that week as whatever, I mean.
I have a screenshot of Manic typing in all caps, "Please don't post dick pics here. I'm serious."
I'll wear a fucking dress. I'm not beneath that.
I'm sure it actually needed to be said. I wouldn't doubt it.
Is Laz going to eat a banana
more details
too?
coming on the boys versus girls.
I'm eating low sodium whole wheat rice cakes right now.
So
I guess.
I'm eating
dude.
Chips
it's not like you were some fucking fatty
French
back
fries.
in the day or anything. I mean, like.
No, I just have a personal goal.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm trying to get abs.
You're trying to get down to like Jin Tan size.
But in high school, I had like abs, 6-pack, all that. So I want to get back to that. So I'm aiming for 12-13% body fat. So I cut out all alcohol. I'm eating super lean.
That's why I keep fucking smoking, dude. Because I know if I quit smoking, I'm gonna get fat.
It's true.
Does it keep the weight down?
Yeah, it does. I gained so much weight when I quit smoking. I gained like 20 pounds.
Exactly. See, that's what I'm afraid of. I don't want to be a fucking fatty.
Yeah, it's real.
Damn.
The nicotine shit actually fucking helps you keep your weight down. And then when you're off it, you just gain mad weight.
Oh.
If I don't have a fucking cigarette in my mouth, it's like a fucking quarter pounder of cheese. It's like, you know, I'll smoke a quarter pounder of cheese all night. Anyways,
so you ever seen like a skinny ex-crackhead? No, they all get fat as fuck.
They do.
Well,
they do. It's what happens.
But...
All that being said, I do want to announce that we have got 4 days until Into the Abyss hits. That is correct, right, Drayden?
Yes,
don't fuck me up here.
No.
Tuesday.
Right. Tuesday is Into the Abyss.
Yes.
And then
well, hold on. We're actually under 2 days because technically we're Saturday at this point. Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
It's downtime Tuesday night for the U.S. Was that like?
Yeah, well, no, Tuesday morning.
Well, Monday night.
And we are 11 days until the nullsec outpost conversion happens. So we're gonna give this to you on a fucking weekly. Except like I don't know, by next Friday we'll be going. Holy shit! Into the Abyss happened, and that changed your lives in a way that you won't have been able to like understand like in the 3 days since it happened next week. However, they did come out today with an update to the system requirements for EVE Online, the recommended system requirements for EVE Online that I'm linking out into Twitch right now. This is not the minimum specs. The minimum specs remain unchanged. However, they've come up with a new recommended specification based on a number of features related to Into the Abyss and abyssal space and things like that. I couldn't quite tell if any of this mattered if you don't go into abyssal space, but if you do go into abyssal space, apparently you need some, reasonable hardware. I mean, you can't just keep fucking around.
It doesn't.
Does anybody
matter
else read it differently,
even if you do go into abyssal space.
So if you go in there, if you take a Caracal, you're not coming out.
It's tough. This site's really tough.
It's not about taking a fucking Caracal. It's not about taking a particular ship. This is about how much RAM do you have, what your video card is like, what's your CPU like.
Oh, Dirk, everyone can run Eve. It can run on a toaster.
Well, that's literally they had to come out with a dev blog.
I'm looking at it right now. They have actual different set of specifications if you're doing abysmal runs. They're actually recommending you have a 1060 or a 580 as a video card.
Oh wow, that's pretty. That's pretty modern.
That's pretty heavy.
But the thing is, here's the thing.
Hold on.
They're
I'm gonna go to a comment. I'm gonna go to a
minimum.
comment today from Noisy Gamer who said the specs that they had to be able to run Valkyrie on VR, okay, were less than this.
Wow, and VR requires a lot.
Maybe it's because the graphics are super pretty.
But what I saw is that
the graphics are super pretty, which means
they're
like
raising.
Well,
that's what
they did
Tamiya.
say they're using Abyssal Space to test out a bunch of new features they want to bring out. So
also
figures they want. Bring out their A game.
So if you're not changing this now to be able to run, Abyssal Space at fucking high res or anything like that, you may be wanting to think about where this is potentially headed if they flip the switch on the rest of the game.
Well, the thing is, they're raising the recommended, but they said they're not raising the minimum. So I'm assuming, does that mean that the Abyssal Space is going to be more intense on your stuff if you're running at a higher graphics, but if you have it at the bare minimum, it's not going to do anything much different?
I'd probably
Yes,
just
exactly
potatoes
that.
it. Just potatoes it, yeah.
This is this is what they're saying. The recommended specification, right? The minimum specs have not changed.
Yeah.
So if you run your shit down in fucking potato mode and all that kind of stuff, and you see stars like I do, that are the suns and whatnot out there that are fucking discs, because I'm in a big giant fleet of people that every time they jump through a gate tie-dyes shit to fucking hell and all that. It's like the minimum specs are still fine. However, if you want to see stuff on a the exemplary level of oh my god, this game is so fucking beautiful, and I zoom in on my ship and I can see myself in the cockpit and whatnot, it's kind of like, then yeah, you're gonna have to maybe think about some stuff, if you're running the abyssal stuff. Right now, this has to do with the abyssal dead space, not what's going on in other parts of the Eve today. Did you do a shot?
No, well, I was waiting for you to pour.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck, I poured.
Shots.
To higher system requirements.
Yeah.
Part of the EVE Online industrial complex.
Well,
it'll be awesome if they ever approach station rooms again, and instead they just did interior of ships.
But I probably should read this. Operating system Windows 10. Windows 10. I mean, Drayden, you're still on fucking, Windows Millennium Edition, as far as I know.
No. I'm in 8.1, but hold on. I found the product key for my Windows 10. It's in my BIOS. They do that.
That won't work on 11. That's coming out right after you put 10 in.
Yeah, I know. But the thing is, I guess they're not putting the stickers with the codes on the computers anymore. It's just going right. It's right in the BIOS. So I looked online and found a line of code you type into some kind of I'm not a tech guy, but I
actually want people out there in Twitch chat to give me a fucking hand wave out there, the fucking pubby hand wave and whatnot. If you had Windows ME. If you had Windows Me, please just show me that you're all a bunch of fucking old men. Anyways,
does that even work?
So Windows 10 CPU Intel i7 series or AMD Ryzen 7 series, 3.6 gigahertz or greater, 16 gigabytes of RAM or higher. And for video, an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 and AMD Radeon RX 580 or better with at least 4 gigabytes of VidRAM.
That's pretty ballsy to recommend.
That's
1060
a big one.
for
that's
the game.
That's a fucking nut. That's in this fucking like fucking cryptocurrency age and shit. It's like, damn.
Well, I mean, it's like a 1060 is kind of like the budget.
1060 is not bad.
1060 is like not the bad, but it's like kind of like the budget of the 1000 series.
Well, 1060s
right?
are
Way.
way.
Well, I mean,
like
there's
slightly above
1040s,
that.
1050s, 1060s, but I mean, like 1060 is like a
Noisy Gamers running DOS 5.
With crypto,
running DOS
all the graphics cards are
5.1.
expensive as hell. I think they're starting to finally come back down a little bit, but pretty much any type of new series
1080.
graphics card is way up.
Yeah, like the 1080 is like the best one, and that's. But I mean, like between a 1080 and a 1060 is probably like $150 difference, isn't it?
Fucking Dayope is here. What's up, Dayope?
Well, don't they have a 1070 also?
1070 is like the main like that's like the generic like. Here's like the 1080 is like the top one, but it costs a lot extra. The 1070 is like this is like the general, not flagship, but like the
Buckstriders. I was saying 1060 is the standard card.
Okay. No, 1060 is your entry point basically.
1060
your entry point now, or your entry point maybe 2 years ago when somebody was building a box.
If you're doing a budget build right now, 1060 is what
that's what I'm saying. Like the 1060 is like the budget
because 2 years ago I did my budget build, and that was a 960.
Right, yeah.
But
60 is
but 2 years, but 2 years ago, where were we?
The main line, and then the 80 is the best, the best performance, but it's more expensive.
2 years ago, where were we? What was
960?
What was it? 1060?
970s, 960s, 980s. Those it was the 9 series, the 900. I mean.
Yeah, because I'm still using my 960 rig that I built 2 years ago.
Yeah. I'm tempted because I mean it's
y'all are gonna fucking black screen.
It might not be. It might not be great because the thing is like the 970 is definitely a step down from the 1000 series because I don't know what they did, but I think like there was something with the GPU that some new way that it calculates stuff that. Normally, like in the past, when you saw like the 700 series, the 800 series, the 900 series, you have these jumps in performance. But the jump from the 900 series to the 1000 series was like a massive increase because of some new super efficient way that the GPU processes stuff.
Well, they had to accommodate VR in the 10 series cards.
That could be because like VR, what is it? I was because
the 1050 and above, they're all VR cards.
Right. Because I was curious actually. I asked I forget who I asked, but I asked someone like why. VR is so intensive because it's like it's still like running at 1080p, right? And the person that told me, they're like, yeah, it's running at 1080p, but the thing is you have a screen for each eye, so it's running essentially two monitors, quote unquote, at the 1080p, in tandem, and so it's twice as hard on the video card as just running one client type of thing. So I think that was a layman's term explanation he gave me to someone, like I said, like. I don't know tech that well, but
I think that what CCP wants all EVE players to be able to do is run EVE while at the same time, like, doing the whole cryptocurrency thing.
The real ISK.
Foil hattery.
Yeah, this is how you're going to get your ISK. Is you're also going to fucking farm crypto.
Yeah,
we're gonna farm for Plex and crypto.
I was gonna say like I was thinking about
With Evo ISK.
Well, I was thinking about it at some point.
Eve coin.
Giving away my.
Oh my god! When they come out with fucking Eve coin, that's fucking it, man. I'm just gonna go Eve wins.
Yeah, Eve coin would be good. Oh no, I thought it was Fedor. I thought we were gonna go Fedor coins or something. But wait, because like when I got my computer, I almost immediately upgraded to a 1080, and so I have an old 970 card that's had like 3 months of use, and I'm wondering if I should give that out on one of these shows. That's not, but it's sad though because now it's like I'm giving out a card that's. I have a GTX 970, which is not a bad card. It's a good card, but it's sad because like now I'm going to give out a card that doesn't even meet up to the recommended of.
It's like flying a Mercurial.
It would kind of be like, let me give you like. It's not a hand-me-down because, like I said, I only used it for like 3 months and then I upgraded, so it's pretty much a brand new card. But
did you guys?
A ship that needs some love, the Mercurial.
Did you guys hear about that event on Sunday?
This Sunday?
Yeah. Did you see like Reload and then even the EVE Online channel tweeting about it called the Elephant Race?
I did see
I
that.
saw some. I thought that was I thought that was you or.
And you know what? And you know what? If you've got a link for that and whatnot, throw it out there because that was something that I actually wanted to. I wanted to throw out there. This is
in the notes.
This is a race.
And I can't post it, but it's in the notes.
It's in the notes.
But, yeah. So right there.
Event, the one that says event on Sunday.
Yeah. But yeah, you guys.
I got it.
It was like a freighter race, right? Am I?
The elephant race begins at 1800 on Sunday, May 27th. Sign up and race your freighter across HiSec for amazing prizes, or watch the mad scramble unfold on CCP Twitch channel. Basically, you're going to be able to fly your fucking freighter in a race. I'm throwing it out there into Twitch chat out there. This is a Twitter thing, so you know, whatever. But yeah.
DC, thanks for this 420, brah. Blaze it.
Of course, DC's coming up with 420.
This
is
good. Hold on. Of all the tournaments and all that kind of shit that fucking go on out there, I'm really glad to see that somebody is doing something that is not just, you know, somebody just go shoot somebody in the face kind of bullshit. Like, it's like we have all of that. It's like, you know, and we could totally get more if people like, you know, take the initiative. But like people need to take the initiative for some things like this, right? The thing that scares me about this is next year when somebody plans Elephant Race 2.0, that's not the time when fucking burn elephants happens. When fucking tusk harvesting is the new fucking goon thing that goes on down in HiSec.
And I guess it's time for me to move from, you know, being an AT champion to like winning the freighter race. Got to get like my hyperspatial supercarrier, like in one of these freighters, and I can, you know, go win some money. Sounds like a lot of fun.
But no, I mean, I think this is kind of cool. You know, it's like the whole idea of racing fucking those things.
A Titan race through Nullsec. Here we go. Let's do it. Laz, you in?
I don't have a Titan anymore. I sold all my supers.
What happened to your Titan, man?
Yes, I sold everything.
Just ask Elo to buy you one.
I sold everything and just so last time I quit, I sold everything and I gave away most of my ass.
Where you at?
Although Elo is
who called the shot? Who called the shot?
Rain did.
DC did.
Well, DC donated. We can you know what?
Oh yeah, I called the shot. Yes.
I like DC.
I was gonna say somebody called him.
Shot.
I moved over real quick to leftover fireball for my wife the other night. She still had some left, so I'm gonna wash the mouth out with it.
Fireball.
Got some fireball here.
It does refresh the fucking breath. I gotta be honest.
Jaeger bombs.
Fuck my car and have a I go to buy and get a beer.
It's my new haircut.
Okay, but I think that's cool. I think that if you are a freighter pilot or something like that, and you want to get involved with the elephant race, you should totally fucking look that up. However, we are going to move on to
AKA ISK for elephant.
To got so many fucking tabs here. Apparently they also today, because you know what? This is one of the things I totally want to thank CCP for, is it's like, look, they know to lay shit out there on a Thursday or a Friday, although everything seemed to come out today, apparently. You know, to give us a fucking, you know, bit of a running chance at, like, not being, you know, shitter than, at least, you know, talking in stations and stuff like that. So they give us news so that we can, like, you know, begin to talk about it on Friday, and then other people, like, can prepare for it on Friday and Saturday when the meta show comes on, and then Sunday when Talking in Stations, and then Monday when Meredud and what is that, Mind Clash comes on, and like, you know, shit like that, right?
It's like the Push to Talk show on Saturday.
The Eve kind of cycle is different than the real world cycle. When you want to drop something like, you know, somebody got indicted or whatever, like, you should always, like, if Harvey Weinstein showed up at fucking, like, you know, in cuffs today, right, on Friday, because it's a long weekend and nobody will fucking know about it, right? That doesn't work in fucking Eve. If you show up Friday fucking morning, we're gonna cover it. Meta Show's gonna cover it. Talking in Station's gonna cover it. You know, like, everybody's gonna fucking cover it over the course of the weekend. But I do want to thank Eve for, like, doing that. It's like, don't throw shit out there on a fucking Monday where nobody's gonna fucking cover it.
So speaking of things to cover and elephant races, we're talking about the elephant in the room with the changes to refitting in war.
Nope. I just threw out there the Triglavian ships and weapons. I don't want to cover this like an incredible lot. It's like you were the guy that I want to go to on this and say, what is this telling us?
You mean that link that you?
Yeah, the one that I just threw out there, and I'll throw it out there again, about how they threw out a dev blog today regarding Triglavian technology, ships, and weapons.
So it's showing the bonuses of them?
Yeah, I mean,
I believe
it's
Rice
basically showing
didn't Rice
details.
Tweet that? Yeah, didn't Rice tweet that yesterday?
Or maybe it was yesterday. Whatever. It wasn't.
Yeah,
it
it
wasn't
shows
like
the
last week.
bonuses, which is super cool because they have remote armor repair, and whatnot, repair range and capacitor needed. But like, I noticed when I was running these that they were actually actively repping each other, and it made me so mad. But I think that's super cool because we need more Logi. It's another Logi battleship. Super cool.
Yeah, it's range, but it's not rep amount though. So
wait, hold on.
It doesn't
is that what you guys got like right at the fucking start of this thing? Number one, you got the really cool fucking pictures of like short, medium, and long range. Freaking, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the bonus cap though. These things are getting pretty OP.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I was like, I saw
that. 100 DPS. That's awesome.
And for people out there that think, you know what? Look, you should start off lower and then work your way higher. No. You should start off higher and then nerf back. I'm so sorry for the anti-nerf people out there and everything. That's how it should work. It should look like it's OP. It should maybe even be OP, and then they nerf it back. If they make it too low, people just go, this is bullshit. They won't use it. They won't see what the whole, effect of it is out in the kind of, ecosphere.
It's what they did with T3 destroyers. They threw the Confessor
out there.
That's
what they do with everything.
It's
the Rorqual, all of the things.
It's gonna require also a Fade Eve. I was wondering. I heard a sound, and I saw like a dancing shark emote on the screen. I was like, "What is this? I've never seen it before."
Raid.
We got a raid. So Fade Eve raided us. So welcome guys to the show. But
those are always the people that like IP fucking DDoS us and shit.
Oh shit.
No, not them. Not them. But when we get raided.
Well, that's different.
We should be careful about that.
The Leshak has some really, really good slot layout. Like 548 is super good. So
that is a good. Well, especially because how many of these weapons can you put on board?
One.
Just one.
Just one.
Just one.
So.
But
they get smart bomb bonuses too.
Right.
But you can get like 2.5 times the base damage of the turret. If you meet the max of the counter, 80 seconds for the frigate, 120 for the cruiser.
I think the ship
gets 140 for battleships.
Yeah, I think the ship gets a bonus to the damage, but also the weapon every time it cycles gets I think it's a 5% increase in damage, and it caps out at 150% damage, which then I think gets bonused by the ship as well.
4 utility slots.
Yeah, and you have a bunch of utility highs, so that's where you get the remote reps and the Newting.
Yeah, Dirk.
It doesn't get a Newting bonus, but it's like
smart bomb.
8 low slots and 4 mids would lead me to believe this is a shield.
Didn't somebody
shield
just say
variant.
Have a smart bombing bonus?
Smart bomb cap needed.
So there's
a New Haven meta.
Yeah, so
that's a New Haven meta
right
there.
It's a firewall beast.
That too.
And low set gate camping beast as well.
8
and the
low
logic beast
slots.
too. It's armor repping beast. Look at that. 100% bonus to remote armor repper range. 50% reduced capacity.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's reduced cap and range, but it doesn't get the actual rep amount bonus. So
I mean, sometimes that's fine though.
But if you're kiting though, that's great.
Right. But the thing is, like, I don't think there is any battleship. Well,
Nestor.
The Nestor. Does that get an amount rep bonus, or is it just the range bonus?
Oh.
I think it doesn't get the
I
range
want to say
bonus.
it's amount.
I think it doesn't get the range bonus, but gets the amount bonus. So like the Nestor reps more, but you have to be next to it. But I would have to go look. But also the Triglavian thing is like,
thanks, Monk.
You have this whole new set of skills you're gonna have to train. It's gonna require a lot of training to get these, because you have the frigate skill book, the cruiser, the battleship, and then you have the weapons. I would assume small, medium, and large, and then you have the Tech 2 versions of the weapons too. So if you want to be like skilled up into like Triglavian ships, you're gonna have to put a shitload of training to fly that one ship, which I guess is for everything. But
have we seen what the skill multiplier is on this? It's not like fucking cap ship level, so.
You mean like 1x, 2x, 3x, and whatnot?
Yeah.
And then the I don't.
I think you're still gonna be at the.
Oh wait,
the bases
well
for the regular ship.
I was gonna say the books are on CC, so you could see that maybe. I remember finding
one.
From
what I heard, it is not like it's some crazy ass shit where they're like, oh, fuck you, we're throwing this stuff in. Fuck you.
The skill multipliers that you need to get the actual ship trained are the exact same for the other racial components. So like the cruiser,
so it's not bad.
5 times.
It's not the old fucking times.
And Battleship 8.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good baseline. I mean, as long as they kept that and not kind of thrown out of whack to make it like carrier and super carrier levels.
These will be interesting because again, we're going to come back to this in a little while. These ships are part of the AT this year, and I believe they are counted as fucking Tech 1 level. So
they have really, really nice point values.
Yeah, Tech 1 point values.
Well, now I forget. Like, were these were being allowed in the AT, weren't they?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but they were going to have their own point value.
No, they were literally going to have Tech 1 point
Tech
values,
1. Yeah,
as I just mentioned.
So Society of Conscious Thought has their own own point value because they're sponsoring stream.
Wolfglen is back.
Wolfglen is back.
Damn.
Wolfglen with the grand return.
Wolfglen
We haven't seen Wolfglen in a long time, but Wolfglen just dropped $50 on us.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you, Wolfglen.
That's awesome.
It's good to see
Wolfglen,
you.
I sent you a fucking email a while back, bro. Guess what? I sent you an email.
Yeah, Wolfglen. I think he was going to give you a shirt.
That thing I sent you?
Mainly because I was just kind of like worried.
Wolfglen. Yeah.
Drake, but
Dirk slid into your DMs,
shots?
bro.
I didn't slide into his DMs. I
it's
slid into his
him.
literal home email.
I wonder if he just came back. Wolfglen, I'm not in your corp anymore, man. I'm sorry. I went to Black Legion.
Yeah, when he didn't hear from you for a while, he left for Black Legion.
I know. I was like, man, Wolfglen's gone. I gotta go.
However, I think this is going to be interesting. The Alliance tournament, as it relates to Triglavian ships possibly being a part of those, is going to be interesting because from when they come out on the 29th to when the Alliance tournament actually goes off, right? How many of these will be available and all that kind of stuff is still up for fucking grabs. It's going to be, it's going to be interesting how these play into things. But I am glad that they came out with the stats for these, well ahead of time. I feel like there's still this element of if you respond to it that like there still might be changes, but I don't think so. I think they would not have put out the dev blog yet if on day one.
Hold on. The funny thing with the dev blog, if you look at the way it's worded, it says Abyssal Dead Space is now live. So I think it was the dev blog that was meant to come out.
Well, it's still live on Sissy, right?
No, they're saying it's live. They didn't say on Sissy. They say it's live. Like I think the dev blog was released early as far as the wording because it makes it sound like
I'm looking at the Triglavian technology, ships and weapons. Blah blah. The Triglavians are almost here.
Oh no, that's the Triglavian page. I'm saying go to the Abyssal
I know.
dev blog for the
right,
dev blog.
Right
for the
now
Abyss
we're working
dev
off
space.
this other fucking dev blog.
I know, but I'm just saying like it's funny because like it comes out and it says it in present tense like Abyssal Dead Space is now live, and it's like no, that's Tuesday. So I don't know if they released it early or if they meant to release it early and didn't change the wording because they had worded it for release day.
Yes, Noisy. Drayden is ahead of us. He's ahead of us. However, we are going to go over real quick to the patch notes.
I'm waiting.
Wait, real quick before we go on the go off the Triglavian weapons. These bonuses, are we going to be able to fit these Entropic Disintegrators onto regular ships?
Yeah, I think they count as turrets, so I don't see why not.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Can we ask somebody here who actually fucking knows that? Because that is what? You can only fit one of these.
Yeah, you can only fit one of them.
You can only fit one of these onto a Triglavian ship. However, you can fit what? How many onto any other ship? Does that make any other ship that has a whole bunch of fucking high slots a one Triglavian weapon and then a bunch of like other fucking rando things? I don't. Shit. I would need to
I was
read
just
more.
noticing that each frame has bonuses
I'm logging
for
into
damage and rate of fire, and I was just thinking, like, wait a minute, didn't they say these are going to be like available?
We're
for,
gonna
like, other
wait.
frames?
We're gonna wait right now, either for smart people in this channel, which is
No,
nobody on this fucking
hold
show,
on. No.
except for our guests. Okay.
No,
Or people out there in the fucking channel.
No,
like, give us the
McLeod
answer.
is right. McLeod is right. It's one per ship. It doesn't. It's
That's
not just,
what I said.
Yeah. No, I remember reading this in
You
the
can equip
past
them to other
when they
ships.
And
first
you
came
can
out.
fit. You can fit a Triglavian weapon on any rando freaking like humanoid
Yeah, I can
ship.
just add a bunch of
Yes.
missile launchers.
Well,
next
now
to it.
Tamaya's saying
Oh.
you can't.
No. You can only fit Triglavian stuff on Triglavian ships, I think, but it's only one. But it's not just the ship that only has one hard point. I think it's just you can only have one of that weapon. Period.
Oh no, I was talking about if they're available on other frames. What would it be?
Exactly.
Like one
I don't think so. I don't
Triglavian
think so.
disintegrator, and then you
Can
throw
you
a whole
fit
bunch
them
of
onto
fucking pulse
humanoid
lasers next to
frames?
it and say fuck it.
No. I don't think you can fit the Triglavian weapons on regular ships.
Oh, okay.
I really.
Can I get a Kestrel with a Triglavian weapon?
No,
I
you
really
can't
don't
do
know
that.
Munins
because
with
no,
disintegrators.
Yeah, mod says
because
you
it's a
can't.
project. It's a turret weapon, and Kestrels are missiles, aren't they?
Okay,
Missiles.
whatever. I'm retarded. Okay, it's like I don't understand that whole.
But
like,
anyway,
missile
no.
shit.
But no, I don't think I would have like someone should double check. But I don't think you can fit Triglavian weapons on non-Triglavian ships.
No, they have to be specifically Triglavian to fit them
Yes,
on there. You
okay.
can't fit like
Okay,
a heavy one onto a Macarial or something.
So then there you go.
Because that would be too OP. You take a ship, you put the one Triglavian weapon, and then fill out the rest of your rack with the regular weapon.
I
you
want
normally
to
use. It would
get
be
to the main
overpowered
point of
'cause
our
you get
night.
an extra
Yeah.
weapon.
Okay, fine, Dirk.
Drayden,
Fine.
I want to get to the main point of the night.
Can we go there?
No, we're gonna
we
talk
can.
about the Alliance
Are-
tournament. We have
are
two
we
guests
ready?
here to talk
Yeah,
about the
Dirk,
Alliance
fuck
tournament.
you, Alliance tournament.
Like, what
Are-
the fuck? Why
Hold
are
on,
you
hold
bringing these people
on.
on here?
You guys want to
Yeah,
do?
fuck you.
I don't want to talk
Fine.
about stupid fucking man tiers on fucking Twitter. I
That's
want to
fine.
talk about the AT.
That's fine.
Are you like what's sexist? Is that sexist?
AT
about,
life, son.
I can
What-
go with
what's wrong
both.
with
I was
my
trying to
tiers?
give them. I was trying to give them their moment in the sun event on Sunday. Nope, that's not it. Alliance tournament rules. That's my
Yeah.
thing.
Were we gonna talk about that, or did you guys cover that
just
last?
to let people know, this is the only point that I will be able to inject into that moment. Is the fact that look, if you're an alliance that has not got your fucking shit in by like Sunday night, apparently American time. No, I'm sorry. It must be UTC 23:59. So that is like really fucking late that night. Your shit needs to be in by 23:59 Sunday night, the 27th.
Yes.
Yeah, if it's
27.
UTC, that's
So if you
that's late evening for East Coast. That's kind of like early mid evening for West Coast, US.
So if you want to participate in the Alliance tournament, you have to apply, whether it's through the silent auction, the feeder rounds, if you were top 16 last
Whatever,
year,
just fucking
you have
make
to apply.
application. Your fucking go to college fucking due date is this fucking Sunday night, late night. Late
Alliance
night
privilege.
Late night UTC.
Yes.
All that being said, go ahead, Rain. Carry away what's going on with this year's Alliance tournament with the people that know why one ship is not the right way to do this thing. Should always be two ships.
So are you talking about the new rule changes, Dirk? Okay, he is.
He's talking about fuck
Well,
you.
okay,
I'm
so
going
you weren't
away.
here. You weren't here. You weren't here.
I was not here last week.
Okay,
I
so
don't
last
know
week
if
we
Mod
went
or
over.
Laz was.
We went over some. We didn't cover everything in detail. The stuff we mainly covered. We can still rehash it again tonight because it's it intertwines. The main stickler point that we kind of like beat around the bush on was the fact that one of unique ships in your comp, and that's it. Like you can't bring.
You mean unique
two
as
others.
AT ships, or you mean one ship
no.
only?
Like no, I'm saying like
Like one
not,
named
not
ship
whole base, but
only.
like if you bring a Ferox, you cannot bring a second Ferox, which you could do last year. So
Yep,
like, that's what I'm saying. Like each ship has to be unique in your comp. You cannot bring multiples of the same ship. That's not hull based. So you could bring a Brutix and a Navy Brutix because those are two different named ships, same hull, but that's fine. So, but you cannot bring. Yeah. So that was the main thing we talked on, and then we kind of got into the. Now, I think we should definitely rehash this in detail, because we've got on the fact that, like, the final round was if you win a match in the final round, whatever ships you brought in that match, you cannot bring into any further matches in that final round. But that got convoluted, and I think the interpretation of the mechanics got mixed up there, because Apothony was, whispering me like, "You guys have it all wrong," and so
Okay.
let's cover that again from ground zero.
Okay. I mean, do you want me to cover it, or moderator or Laz? Do either of you want to talk about it? I can see moderator definitely wants to talk.
Yeah, he's been biting back.
He has
He's
that
"Oh,
smirk."
let me talk.
Don't bite back, Mod. You gotta
Alright,
fucking
moderator.
jump in. This is like the CSM. You gotta be able to jump in and
All right.
cover
So
over
this
Aerith.
was introduced as a quote wrinkle in the rules. And moderator, can you expand on what this wrinkle is for the final rounds?
Okay, so there's the final rounds, and I'll back up and explain more of the general rule changes later. But specifically for the final rounds, once you've brought a ship to a match, you can no longer bring it again. So what this requires is a large amount of ship compositions. You need a lot of theory crafting. You need a lot of things that can fit into existing comps if you've already brought that and you can't bring it again, or if it's been banned. And that is going to result in some pretty clowny final series when people want to bring ships that are actually good for the tournament, but they can't because it's either been banned out or because they've already brought it again. So let's say you get to a game 5, right, and you've already brought certain logistics, right, and then your opposition chooses to ban out all the other Logi. Well, maybe you have to go with a Logi-less comp, or maybe you can't bring any of the Triglavian ships. All of which, by the way, are going to be fantastic for the Alliance tournament. So there's going to be a lot more going on there. Going back,
And that's only if you win with it, correct? Like,
Yeah,
that's how I
That's what I was going to ask too. So if you win, so if you go into a match and you lose, you can still bring the same comp to the next match, right?
right.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so,
So that now what you said with the Logi, like that's a strategy like I didn't think about specifically in the fact that it's like, okay, they won with the semi comp and they won with not an Osprey but the
Bazzi.
the
Basilisk.
Basilisk. So it's like, okay, so they're gonna have to bring inferior shield reps with a Scythe or an Osprey, or they're going to bring armor ships. So if we ban the Guardian and we ban the Oneros, those are your two bans, they are automatically reduced to sub-tier Logi, which is that's
T1 Logi.
yeah, T1 Logi. It's like, and which is not anywhere near as good. They don't have the tank. I think they get, I don't know if it's the same rep bonus, but similar rep bonuses. But the thing is, like, they blow up a lot faster. So that's obviously gonna be like a nice strategy, which is gonna make stuff interesting. And also the fact is that you bring this comp that's like, it did so well. You can't just bring it in the next match and be like, we did so well, we're gonna do the same thing again. You can't do that.
Right, but to clarify, again, this is only for the final, so the vast
Right.
majority of players and teams aren't going to encounter this. What a lot of these people will have to deal with is the changes to the point structure and the amount of ships that you're allowed to bring. So previously, in AT's, the last few Alliance tournaments, you were allowed to bring up to 2 of the same kind of ship, right? So that meant that we ended up seeing a lot of things like battlecruiser heavy cores supported by like a Flag Balgorn, and those became kind of like a dominant overall composition that we saw. And then we saw battlecruisers become really, really good in the final rounds of last year's Alliance tournament.
Okay.
So Alliance tournaments like 14 and 15 were sort of like a continuation of each other. Now CCP, what they've done is they've thrown out everything. They forced teams to like start over from scratch, thrown in new ships, and it's going to be a completely different tournament, and the way that people will go about building comps, go about practicing, and go about actually winning these.
All right. Now I'm gonna pick your brain a little bit with a couple questions. The first one that I didn't think about is so Alliance tournament ships. We were talking about like they use their 2 shield Logi ships, so you ban the armor thing, but then the Atana. So stuff like that, like what do you think the strategy would be? Like, would you rather ban the Atana and maybe the Guardian, and then just build a fleet that is based against killing armor, because they're all because the best logi they have at their available point at that point is the Oneros, so it's like they're gonna bring armor logi. So if you build your damage type to destroy armor, is that going to be a tactic, or do you think that might not be a thing? They'll just let the Atana through, hoping that they don't have one.
That can be a tactic. I mean, you need to know first off, okay, does the team I'm facing have an Atana? If they do, what's our response to it, right? How do we deal with that with the composition we have? Do we want to let that through and have a bunch of Kaldari jammers? Do we let that through because we know we've got E-War that deals with whatever they're wanting to bring? Tailoring, your ban strategy to what you have. And like people are saying in chat, and one other thing that hasn't been mentioned yet is that every match now has 3 bans instead of the 2 bans that most matches had. And that makes you have to prepare a lot more in terms of what comps you can bring. It also forces you to deal with, okay, I don't have the ships I want to bring. What does that force me to do? And with a lot less time between the rules being released now and the actual tournament beginning with the feeder rounds, it's forcing teams to really get out there, grind out on Singularity and Thunderdome when that does come online.
All right. Okay, yeah.
Well, actually, I got a quick question for Mod.
Yeah.
And actually, a quick shout out to Sutonia. If you weren't listening last week, he did a stream where him and Mod and Potney and I think Ithaca and a few others had basically a roundtable talk, and they did put it on SoundCloud. I'll link that in chat here in a second. But
hold on, real quick. You got? Do you have powers to link? If not, I can just.
Oh, probably not.
Okay, hold on. Let me give
you.
Do I owe?
Who's getting permits?
No. Okay, you're good. Go ahead and link it now.
Okay.
Do I owe? Did you guys do one?
No, but let's do it.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, but
I just want to be there with you, Dre.
And it's what I was what I was wondering about was, how do you feel about Tech 2 drones being disallowed, being that you can't bring replicate ships?
I think they wanted to get away from certain drone compositions being potentially too powerful. I don't feel that it was necessarily a change that they had to make, but it's one that they've definitely wanted to avoid in terms of viewership, with people just going to a micro jump drive beacon with a drone ship and just pinging around on grid. They want a lot more brawly, bloody matches, and that's one way that they've decided to go about making that be a thing, is that they just aren't going to have drone comps be relevant anymore.
Yeah, no, I just felt it was kind of heavy-handed, just because with the change, because of how few good drone ships there are, nerfing the ability to bring T2 drones and then only able to bring one Ishtar. Whenever you see most of the drone comps were double Gila, double Ishtar, and stuff like that. So they kind of cut it off at the knees in 2 different directions.
Well, with those comps, do you think you'll see like people bring like a Vexor Navy, an Ishtar, a Gila, like just so you can get like they're all unique ships, so you get like still enough drone boats that it can make a difference, or is like the Tech 1 Vexor?
It's really easy to just ban out one of the core ships, and then you don't have anything to replace it with.
Gotcha.
So, in the mind of like a theory crafter or a team captain, when you're building these comps, you're having them designed for a set purpose, right? You've got like a goal that you want to achieve. And when you're building these comps and you look at a ship and you say, okay, what does this do for me? Like this Ishtar, is it worth it for those many points? And the answer is, without Tech 2 drones, the answer is no. It just doesn't do as much as, say, another hack or another ship around that point value cost.
I had one other question that I was also curious about, and I think Apotheny answered it in chat last week, and I don't really remember what he said. I remember them specifically saying in parentheses.
Do you remember waking up the next morning and like you left your stream going all night long?
Yes, I do. Yes,
okay,
I do.
So you don't remember what the
Apotheny said? No, I remember asking the question. I remember you came up with an answer, and it made sense to me at the time, but I forget the answer. But so they mentioned in the thing that a certain change to, I don't know if it was battleships or flagships or something, and then in parentheses they said that they were specifically doing this on the case of Balgorns to kind of neuter them a bit. What is the change and for those, and why is it going to make them less impactful?
I'll have to throw that one over to Laz, the actual tournament commentator this year.
Yeah, well, the Balgorns, they basically in the past tournaments they were dominant because you were able to bring the Tobias Webb, and they changed the rules this year where you can't actually use the officer and faction webs. You can only use the grapplers. So you also they removed the newts from the list of modules that you can bring officer and X-type for. So they took away the huge long range newts from the Balgorn as long as the super long range web, and that's why you probably won't see as many Balgorns. You'll probably see a couple, but I think you'll probably see more golems, paladins, and maybe Lesheks as the primary flagships this year.
Okay. Well, that was another rule change too, right? T2 battleships can now be flagships.
So let's go to a high level
addition,
here with the rule set. Who
you can only use them as flagships.
Who at CCP tweaked the rules this year, because we don't have Logibro anymore. So who?
It's usually a group. From past experience, I think it was usually Fozzie, Rise. I also believe when they make the dev blog, that goes through their chain of command, which is why it takes a while to come out, because I have to make sure it's like communicated properly. Mod, do you know of any other devs?
I don't recall if Larrikin, how much impact he has on that, but the primary developers on that, the lead would be Fozzie, and then you'd have Rise, of course, giving some input. They usually aren't. So one of the things that they do tend to try to diffuse some like accusations or blame is they don't specifically say this is the dev that did it. So
it's always like a team.
Yeah,
it usually
it's like a
is,
team decision. It's
Except
not like one
Fozzie's
person made the final, decision on everything.
Because didn't it always kind of fall to like, well, I don't want to say fall to Logibro, but he was the Thunderdome, champion. He was the one that put everything together. He set it up.
He was the guy who knew how to fucking use it.
So like there's a difference, right? Like so you have people who create the rules, you have people who design the AT ships, you have like Logibro who did like Thunderdome access, because there's a difference between like developing Thunderdome and then granting access for players to get on Thunderdome. And Logibro did a lot of that community aspect of maintaining Thunderdome, communicating with the players, giving them access. If it breaks, he knew how to fix it or who to ask how to fix it. If it needed a restart, things like that. So like a lot of people think like one dev is like all knowing and like they go through everything and do everything and like
Logibro.
Yeah, but so like
no,
moderators
but he
right,
knew how
like,
to use it. He knew how to make it work.
But I mean, moderators right. Like they have plenty of devs to do this. I know at FanFest they announced there were more developers, and so for all we know, there could have been new developers, trying this out, changing things, adding their input, and like we may never see them, talk to them, or realize that. But you just have to understand that it's not just like one guy doing everything type stuff.
I feel really bad. I was away talking to my fucking daughter about how she's like going down to the fucking shore like this weekend, literally tomorrow morning.
Jersey Shore?
Okay, she's literally going down to the fucking shore tomorrow morning and then coming back tomorrow night. I'm like, you're not staying at a fucking hotel, whatever. We're not getting off into that. But I come back to find out that fucking Laz is a commentator for this year's Alliance tournament.
You just heard about that?
Like, did you just walk the fuck in and be like, lay your fucking Laz ticket down and go, bam, Alliance tournament?
Basically,
Yeah.
that's how it happened.
I was saying,
He showed up, he still had the beard.
I mean,
and they're like, it's good.
literally nobody has seen you since that night in fucking Vegas, and like you just come in and lay the fucking ticket down.
No, I think I kind of filled a role because this year EVNT's hosting it and they're doing it in Nottingham. And one of the big bonuses of them doing it in Nottingham is you have people like Satonia, Apotheny, Ithaca. You have all these.
They have two
really,
tickets
really,
from the outside, right?
Right, but you have all these really, really AT-oriented, knowledgeable guys already in England, and I'm not as knowledgeable as moderator, and I will freely admit I don't know nearly as much about the tournament as Sutonia and Epothany, but I think I've kind of filled more of a color commentary and
I would say color commentary and also just knowledge of FCing and the fact that you can see what's going on in the battlefield and be able to deduce like what's happening and know. Because I feel like that's a skill, like, because, I mean, like, it's not just FC, like, FC is not just something like giving orders, obviously, everyone knows that, you have to have this, like, massive situational awareness that you know what's going on with your fleet on top of what's going on with their fleet, and you're able to manipulate both things at the same time. And so you can see those details from the outside, especially when you aren't like managing it yourself. So you can even look at more details. So I would assume that that's a skill that you can look at these fleets and be like, I know what's going on here.
Are you friends with Jared Kushner?
And here's the secondary skill to all that. Here's the secondary skill is like you can interpret, see what's going on, but then you kind of translate it to almost common man terms. That you get a lot of people who watch the AT, of course, who are knowledgeable in the AT and have that deep infrastructure knowledge. But then you take that knowledge and kind of translate it back to say, oh, well, he's doing this because of this, but not saying why and the depth knowledge of the mechanics, why he's trying to do that, or why that module is, doing the type of damage it's doing. That's the next kind of intricate and, intangible thing that a commentator can bring to the AT.
So your commentary team is obviously going to be the people from the UK, and then you've got outside of the UK, you've got Rain and Elise, who are going to be doing the final 2 weekends that are being brought in, and then you've got Brett Bart Pirate and Les Telraven, who went through the application process, and then have been chosen to do the first 2 weekends live in Nottingham out of the Event studio.
Should be good.
That sounds great. A great lineup.
And then I know, same with like the feeder rounds, there are going to be a lot of people at the feeder rounds too. So, but I think majority of that is going to be remote. I don't think that's going to be a whole studio setup or anything. So, pay attention to the feeder rounds.
To refresh my memory, like, are the unique like one of each ship type? Is that applying to the feeder rounds as well?
I think so, because I think the feeder rounds they said were supposed to follow AT-16 rules. Except a few select things, like obviously no flagships, no uniques.
Well, okay, so AT-16, so can they bring two ofs of the same?
No, so they're following.
So they're
following the same rules that everyone else is. What they've done with Thunderdome?
They get two bans instead of three.
Yep, they get two bans instead of three.
The feeder rounds are two bans instead of three.
There's that.
I think that's the main difference.
Yeah, that's the main difference, and that there's no flagships and there's no uniques, because one of the things that CCP tried to do is try to make it more accessible for newer players and newer teams to get involved in the event. So what they did is they said, if you play in this tournament and you qualify through the AT through that way, you don't have to put, your actual ships on the line. You don't have to put a whole lot in there. It's a good way to get new players involved and invested, and it's paid off rather well. We saw a lot of teams enter that process last year when it was first introduced. We saw a lot more teams scrim and put in effort who wouldn't have otherwise, because it was more engageable and accessible for them to do so.
I'm trying to remember, if you apply for the feeder rounds, is that still 2,500 Plex and you get it back if you don't make it?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
So you're not out anything if you don't even qualify. You're not even out with the 8 or 9 billion ISK that you'd lose otherwise.
Right. And that's honestly like a pretty cheap price, like especially with the guaranteed refund if you don't make it. So it's like if you don't make it, nothing. If you do make it, 8 or 9 billion, not a bad deal.
And it's really good practice too, because obviously you get the full like tournament setup and everything, and you actually fly against teams, and there's a lot of pressure. But at the same, like people are saying, if you lose, it's no big deal. So it's always like if you're new to tournaments or you want to really get into tournaments, find a team that's doing the feeder rounds or start your own alliance with a bunch of friends. But you have to do it before Sunday.
I was actually
before Sunday night.
I was actually asking. I asked in Origin chat a while back. I was like, or Black, whatever. I was like, are we doing an alliance tournament team? And someone's like, nope.
No, you guys have never done an alliance
and
tournament.
someone's
team,
like, nope. I'm like, oh, but hold on. But Blaster Masterson then started linking stuff. I think we actually
you guys aren't qualified in that fucking that level of shit.
I think we actually are, and
I'm gonna get a
50, you guys always die.
I was like, I'm gonna ask Blaster Masterson.
Over 50, you also die.
I think me and him have a special relationship that I think he'll let me on the team even if I'm bad. It's not that relationship, Rain. Don't make that face.
The special relationship thing kind of threw me off.
Yeah, that did.
We have, like,
yeah,
special
Special
love.
relationship.
I
What
let
the
that
fuck
one
are
go.
You, Theresa May?
You get like full SRP, whereas the rest of the lodge y'all
Exactly.
getting
I
like
hope
half.
one of you is
Well, no,
British.
I mean, I get 1.5, I think, but no.
Oh
I've
my
got the
God.
Karma Fleet team going. We're going to all fly.
I hope one
whirlpools.
of you is British or your name is Jerusalem.
I could change my name to that. So. But no, so
Yeah,
I was like,
special
I want
relationship.
to
We
see.
see how that's
I
been
might
working out.
actually, I might actually try and see if I can get
It's
on
really-
the AT
it's-
team for.
I
for
fucking
Yeah,
shut
it's good
up.
experience. It's very good experience.
mean,
Like,
like,
I highly
I'm-
recommend it.
I'm a terrible solo pilot, and I'm really bad at small gang fleets as well.
Sometimes, so for
So I
some
think I'd be
things that
great.
you
I
do
think
in
I'm
the
great.
AT,
Graydon, you just basically
So is
said,
Pandemic Legion, but that
you
hasn't
basically
stopped
said,
them.
I'm terrible at everything that the basically
I mean,
matters in
there's-
the AT, but
No.
can I be on the AT?
No, but I
So
think
there,
I,
there
no,
are
I
teams
think-
who aren't the great at pilot
Dirk,
execution.
you
There's
dying?
some teams that aren't great at pilot
What the fuck,
execution,
Dirk?
but they still make it, right?
Well, I know,
Like,
but
I mean, you
I-
don't have to be like
I'm not gonna let
pro
this Stacy
solo
shot go
PvP or-
from the
No, no,
spill I
it's like-
just made.
You
No,
know
I
what?
I
You
know, but
save
you
it.
can't have an F1 monkey go into the AT.
Well, right.
No, no,
but-
there are teams that have literally made it by anchoring on their
TNT.
FC and
I've seen
yeah,
that.
exactly.
Yes,
So
yes.
you
Hey,
don't have to
shut
be, you
your
don't have to be a
fucking
professional.
dirty whore mouth, Drayden. Okay? I'm gonna tell you right now, the 2 times TNT was in there, top 10 bitches
I
both
know,
years.
yeah, but with anchoring. So, but here's the thing.
But yeah, so
Doesn't
you don't,
matter
you
about
don't have to
anchoring.
be a
The
pro.
one
You
year
don't have
we
to be a
anchored,
pro.
the next year we fucked up, still made top 10.
I know, but here's the thing. I'm a great F1 pilot. I'm great at anchoring and following fleet orders. So I'm not good at like flying my own
Exactly.
ship.
That's why
But
you
I
do
think-
Logi. That's
but
why
I-
you're a Logi bitch.
I know, but I think I'd be a
Oh,
great.
excuse me,
shit.
Dirk. You have to press F1 through potentially F6 when you're a Logi
I
bitch, okay?
think-
Not
do you-
just
do you-
F1.
your
yeah, because
Logi's
you
got
can't
six
set
fucking-
the
Your
reps,
your-
Dirk.
your Logi's got six fucking reps on
F1
it.
and 3.
Wait, Rain. You said F1 through F6. How do you get
Please
6 reps
stop.
on your Logi?
I
Tell me
got
now.
tackle and scram, man.
So
exactly,
you can do 4.
exactly. She's got a
Sometimes
bunch
you
of
can do
fucking
4, and then you
mediums
can
on
do
her
cap
because she's a
chain.
fucking Logi.
Or you can fly
Oh.
I don't
Atanas.
Okay, cap chain.
I have to
But-
use the first 4. I
Bam.
think.
You
I know
actually
what I'm doing.
need like your best.
But no,
player
I'm just
to
saying,
be
like,
pretty
I'm,
easy.
I'm not good at anything. with
Logi-
the alliance.
All that
I
being
don't know
said,
what I'm
listen
doing.
If
to
you
moderator.
ever want to
Alright,
know
well-
who the best players of EVE are, it's the logistics pilots of AT tournament teams.
Hey,
You
I'm
have
just-
Okay, well, anyway.
You have, what is
Yeah,
it?
Cool.
I'm
Dark
just,
Soul
So
Dash.
hey, I'm gonna do
You have all
a
these,
drink.
Like, Lilu.
yeah.
Tinker, Tinker,
I'm doing a
Soldier
drink
Spy.
to actually, you know what? We didn't talk about this. This is my quick announcement. Actually, Rip Total Biscuit, for people who know, he did the Lull is Eve video. I think that's what
Was it
called.
Lulla's Eve or what the fuck is Eve?
Oh,
What
Total
the fuck is
Biscuit.
Eve?
Yeah, what the
Thank
fuck
you.
is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Okay,
That's it.
no,
Now you made me think he was a different dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
I-
a real big Blizzard guy too.
Yeah, I w- well, I
Yeah,
was
he
saying-
did a
I-
lot of those
yeah, he
videos,
did-
those gaming
he-
videos. But
'cause he
anyway,
was-
Rip Total Biscuit.
Yep. Well, I mean, he was not just an Eve player. He was across a lot of games.
He wasn't an Eve player. As far as I know, he wasn't actually an Eve player.
He played a little bit.
He
from
was
what I
Yeah, he's a
understood.
casual.
He was a game review guy, who was YouTuber. Yes, but he did a lot of really good game reviews out there, and I'm not
Yes,
sure
yes,
exactly.
game
Eve is
reviews.
probably not the kind of game that he got into to like delve into
No,
the depth
no,
and breadth
no.
of
I-
Eve
I
and all
don't
that kind of
think he was-
stuff, right?
Well, no, he makes
No.
it very clear.
Which is
in the
why
What the
he
Fuck is
did
Eve
a video called "What the Fuck Is Eve." It was like
Laz.
that's the kind of thing that you like can scope into if you know what this kind of looks like, right? Without getting into the depth and breadth of it. He jumped into it to the extent that he could
Right.
and sat there and went, "Whoa, what the fuck? This is a deep, dark, black fucking hole of my life." No,
Right,
and,
right,
like
but-
scope the fuck out.
But he wasn't just a game reviewer. He was a big game player, and he was
Gaming
more known-
critic.
He was more known for
Critic?
his YouTube channel,
no.
but he did
Well,
get
he's
into
huge
Twitch.
in League of Legends and stuff.
Well, yes. So
Yeah,
League of
yeah.
Legends. He did a lot of stuff.
But
with
so are
Planet-
12-year-old people.
Planet
I mean,
Side
like,
and
Well,
stuff.
they
Yeah.
they actually named some shit in the game after him and shit.
Yeah,
like,
yes,
it was a big deal
yes.
to
So
Blizzard and
the
stuff.
total there's the Total Biscuit. It's gone out of League of Legends now. But yeah, well, you could still get it if you have the Like I was saying this in Skype earlier, but the kleptomancy thing, you can still get the Total Biscuit because it lets you get all the old stuff that they've taken out of the game. But back in the day, there was a mastery that let you change your health potions into a Total Biscuit, which gave you the health regen that the potions gave you, but it gave you instant health and gave you some mana regen. So that was named after him because he did a lot of stuff. Moderator saying he did a lot of stuff with League of Legends, but also I remember PlanetSide because I got into PlanetSide 2 when it was early out. I didn't play it much after that, but when it was still fairly recent and out, they had this big faction battle event where like I don't remember exactly what it was, but like sides accrued points, and each faction in the game, there's Terran Republic, Vanu Sovereignty, and what's the other guys?
The Terrans?
No, Terran Republic, Vanu Sovereignty.
The Vanu?
The conglomerate?
The something conglomerate. They were the blue
because I used to play with Eric Asimov.
Yeah, the blue and yellow guys. Anyway, so they all had their own captains, and I think he was the Terran Republic captain, but he might have been Vanu. I don't think he was the Vanu. I think he was the Terran Republic captain. So I mean, he's been very big in the gaming community across multiple games, and so the fact that he died is very sad. So.
Yep. All right.
He was someone who was definitely very interested in like the concept of EVE, all the stuff that you could do in kind of like a surface level. Like, this is cool. I'm going to do a video and content like briefly about it. But he's not really someone, like you said, who ever really got into the meat of it. And, I understand that it's not for everybody.
Yeah, he's no Wingspan.
Yeah.
Like Gentleman Gamer or DeLone Wolf or any of those guys, because those guys get into it.
Yeah, man. Like, because I saw a couple of videos of his, and I didn't watch them that much, but I know that he was very big into the gaming community in general, but very big across multiple gaming.
Hey, look, Dirk's embarrassing his daughter.
He always
Hey,
does
what?
that.
Hey, yo, don't be a bitch.
She got her hair changed.
All that being said, let me have a conversation.
Tarek, can you say hi?
Yeah, fuck you in your conversation, Dirk.
Hello, how are you?
Yo.
Good, we're sorry your dad's putting you through this.
Yeah. Tell him you can't.
Hi.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
McGurk.
We're good. Are you going to Vegas with us in October?
No, I'm only 18.
That's
so I
okay.
can't go to
We'll get you
Vegas.
some.
Yeah, I went to Vegas
We'll
when
get
I
you
was
some
14.
drinks.
Yeah, you guys can sneak me some drinks or something.
Yeah, don't tell him. Don't tell him.
Because a dude got riffed from freaking Horde.
How do you think Elo got it when he went to
Horde
Vegas
sucks.
the first
Yeah,
time?
we'll just don't worry. We'll steal some bottles from the Goon Party, and we'll give it.
You know what? We can just bring our own, and I can just get drunk in the hotel room
No,
by
you
myself.
can't bring it on the
Shut
phone.
No,
up.
you
Yes,
do
you
that,
can. Hey,
and then
you
and then
just
you
fill
come
this
hang
up with
out with
ice.
us.
I
It'll
did
be
that shit
super
all
fun.
the time.
We going to the beach tomorrow.
Jersey
Nice.
Shore, I heard. Jersey Shore.
Totally
Yeah, have
not
fun with
going to the beach.
JWoww and Snooki and Mikey.
I've been
Yeah.
watching the Jersey Shore
Snooki.
You
reunion.
know, is Paulie still there?
Yes.
Yeah, Paulie's
Yeah.
still there with the same fucked up hairdo.
He's got the Guido
I have to
haircut,
go.
right?
I'm going out.
Yeah, what's up
He
with
has
you?
that
All right,
Heat
be
Miser
safe.
haircut. You know the
Bye.
old like
Be
Heat Miser
safe.
shit from the
Bye.
Claymation Santa Claus movies?
Wait, is that show still on MTV?
I
This,
no,
Yeah,
actually,
man, it
it's
came
Jersey
back,
Shore
like 2 months
Family
ago.
Reunion. Are you watching it?
Jersey
I've been
Shore
watching
came
Jersey
back.
Shore Family
I
I'm
Reunion.
not
remember-
watching it. My sister
It's
is.
so funny.
I
It's
remember
so
we had
funny.
a Origin Jersey Shore night that we all just
You
sat
watched?
down.
God.
I was there for that one time. I've never watched Jersey Shore. I've seen like snippets, but I never watched Jersey Shore until that night. And
It's the real world on crack.
it's
It's like
So,
if you put meth in
it's
the real
something.
world house.
There's
and
a
just
reason-
let fucking
there's a-
shit happen.
there's a reason I don't like reality shows, and that show is all of the reasons I don't like reality shows.
It's like Big
They,
Brother, the real world, and fucking The Bachelorette, like all mixed into one clusterfuck.
yeah, it's
The last episode I watched was it wasn't last night's episode, but it was Snooki stealing dollar bills on the floor of a strip club. So she was stealing stripper
Number
money.
one, that girl needed those dollar bills.
Then-
Don't
Shit,
even
Snooki
be
needed
sitting there
them.
saying she didn't.
Vinny got two girls' phone numbers while having a girlfriend.
Yes,
so
he
called,
did. Yes,
he
he
called
did.
his
Both of them
girlfriend.
fucking
And
worked
he's
there.
like,
He was
he's
trying
like,
to
hey, I
hire
got
her
two
for the
girls'
next
phone
show he
numbers, and
was
she's
in.
like, what the fuck are you doing getting girls' numbers? She's like, it's not that bad. I got two girls' phone numbers, and she's like, that's
It's only
double
two.
bad.
It's
Only
so
two, that's
badly
it.
played
Dude,
out.
that's
It
only
really is.
two.
I'm gonna be honest. I
Who's
did
the
not
new
want to
chick?
start
I saw like a
TV
clip of
time.
her.
I did not want to start TV time tonight with the way that Jersey Shore has gone down this year. And it's like
Let's
even
go to TV
I,
time.
who was
How can they go
even
lower,
I,
man?
who was old, even I, who's old, but was totally fucking Jersey Shore back when they were fucking kids doing Jersey Shore and thought it was all fucking cool. I'm sitting there this
They're
year
still
and going,
adults.
oh my god, you guys are so shit at Jersey Shore, even though you're in Miami this year. It's like, it's so fucking bad. They are such fucking lame motherfuckers, even
Dude,
in Miami or the Jersey Shore.
Dirk, what did you expect? What did you expect?
Wait,
Yeah,
stop,
Dirk,
stop. Wait,
was it riveting before? Like, what the fuck?
Hold on, real quick.
Yes, back when they first did Jersey
Really?
Shore
Eating
season
pickles
1,
under Snooki's fucking
that
bed
was totally
riveting
fucking
shit to you,
CI.
Dirk.
How?
When they did Jersey Shore season 1, that was totally fucking CIL. Okay, not CIL. I'm sorry, that's where I go.
Senile?
Okay? It was
Yeah, damn right, senile.
that other place up in fucking North Jersey that they fucking go to. Okay,
Jersey City?
that is what
Shitty or
fucking
city?
Jersey Shore is like, for a bunch of fucking weeds that aren't even fucking Jersey
Weeds are
or like even New York
weeds.
weeds or whatever. Okay, that is what it was like north of Long Beach Island in fucking New Jersey. Okay, that's what it was fucking like. Okay, however, Sandy came around. Hurricane Sandy came around and fucked shit up, and like a whole bunch of fucking weeds couldn't do that whole fucking thing at the same fucking time, so they all fucking moved. Some of them moved fucking south, but Jersey Shore on MTV moved to fucking Miami, and then they moved to fucking Italy, and then they moved to these other places that these people were not fucking from. Okay, and it
Can
fucking
we
failed.
talk about the best show that's on right now, Billions?
Billions is no longer still on. Well, it will be on next season, but yes.
Wasn't there a movie coming out for Billions?
However, Billions is totally a good motherfucking show. It really fucking is.
Hold on. I have to ask a question. You were mentioning Jersey Shore and you said Miami. How do they have Jersey Shore in Miami?
They go to Miami. They go to Italy.
Because the Jersey, because no place on the Jersey Shore
Whoa.
wants their shit showing the fuck
Whimsical.
up.
Whim just dropped 25 on us.
Because no place on the fucking Jersey Shore wants them showing up. Hold on. And
But
from
how do you
Wim's
call it
standpoint,
Jersey
there ain't
Shore
no
if it's
fucking
Miami?
Jersey Myrtle Beach, okay? Like, nobody cares about
Because
that
it's
shit.
fucking MTV. Dude, it's MTV. When was
Beach
the last time you saw a music video on it?
All that
Myrtle
being
Beach
said,
is golf. That's the only reason it's there.
all
Yo,
that being
speaking of
said,
people
it is
dropping
one of my
money,
most disappointing shows
how
of the
about
year. I will
Amazon
not drink a shot. to it.
dropping money on hopefully recontinuing The Expanse for season 4.
The
Well, there
Expanse
is
is
a
coming
video.
back season
Yes!
4 on Amazon, motherfuckers.
I called
That's
that they
what
were
I'm
gonna pick it up
predicting.
because as soon as season
Yeah.
2 went on
I've got my
Prime,
prediction.
I'm like, this show's gonna go because Bezos
Shots-
is gonna buy that bitch.
To Wim.
I've
God
only watched
bless
the
you,
first few
Wim.
episodes of season 2. Season 1 was
No.
amazing, but
Look, well, I will put money. I'll put money. Season
Season
4,
two gets really
there will
better.
be Blue Origin stickers on fucking MCRN battleships. Season 4, I put
Don't
money on
don't
it.
spoil it. What the fuck?
wow, it's
However-
spoiled. Wow.
Who knows? For all
It's
we
not- it's
know
not a
on
spoil.
for all we know on
It's not even in the
Amazon,
books.
there may be a mixture of The Expanse and Man in the High Castle, where Nazis are on Mars.
Dude, season 4 and season 5 are gonna have like freaking Amazon and Blue Origin ads all over it. I'll put money on it.
Number one, Jeff Bezos is apparently a big fan of the show, so therefore he's like, hold on. Not only is he a big fan of the show, but I had to like look up terms out there about what this whole fucking linear broadcasting is, and what international rights are, and what SVOD is. And apparently, Amazon already has the SVOD on the show. Netflix has international rights, and Sci-Fi basically got, if you watch it when it's on, we get paid. If not, we're fucked. So I understand now why Sci-Fi backed the fuck out, because they're like, we don't get paid on shit because nobody watches live TV anymore.
It's 2018. Who the fuck pays for cable anymore? Do any of
Yeah,
you here pay for cable?
I gotta be honest, I
And
do pay
Bezos
for
is gonna put all
cable.
kind of money into it. Bezos is gonna put ridiculous money.
Alright,
That's
Bezos,
because
Pay
I
for
have a
cable or pay
DVR
for,
and I'm
like-
such a bad person.
Wait. Do you watch it on DVR or do you watch it live?
No, I never watched live TV.
Do any
ever.
of you
I
watch
watched
live
the
TV
World
like
Series
Dish,
like the
No.
next
Red
year.
TV, ESPN?
I-
None of you watch live TV. Okay, thank you. Companies,
Well,
we need to
okay,
fucking
I
get
had
with the
Sling
business.
for about 3
Jesus
months. I
shit.
use Sling. I usually Sling for some live sports. That's it.
All that being
well, now you
said,
can get
on
ESPN on YouTube
Sci-Fi,
if you want.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, yeah.
Winona Earp is your shit. Actually, like
Lost Girl
I like
is the
Winona
shit,
Earp,
okay,
but like
Derek?
whatever.
Step
I'm
correct.
not recommending it. However, Billions, fucking
It's so good,
Billions
dude. It's
has
so
been
good.
amazing since the day that show came out on Showtime. And look, I'm not speaking to any of you out there
Season
who
2
don't have
slowed down a
premium
little
cable.
bit, but season
Okay, okay.
3 has been super good.
will appeal to Deadwood fans.
No, they don't wear fucking cowboy hats. Okay, it's like.
Well, if I don't have some Asian
This
dude saying
guy right now,
50
hold on.
times in 3 minutes,
I want to
I
bring
don't wanna watch
Billions into the realm.
It's got Damian Lewis in it, and if you like Damian Lewis, like you're gonna love this.
Damian Lewis is fucking amazing. This is the guy
They're
from
all- they're all
Band of
good,
Brothers.
Wasn't he in
Damian Lewis is a really great actor.
Didn't he
yeah.
play like a
Yes.
sleeper jihadist in a show once?
No,
that
no,
CIA
no. He
thing?
was never a sleeper jihadist anywhere. All that being said, okay, it's like that show actually shows what goes on within the whole fucking hedge fund area of America, which is literally a part of Manhattan, but mainly,
show,
not Yeah.
mainly Greenwich and Westport, Connecticut.
Yeah. Yep.
And
keep
then
going.
there are
Yep.
people out there who are part of the Southern District of Manhattan who are district attorneys. And that is where most of you want to concentrate your time, because when they were back then, during the time of Billions, concentrating on the Southern District of Manhattan from a hedge fund standpoint, right now they're sitting there going, God damn, how many Russian bitches does like Trump have?
5.
What
Like,
is
literally,
Billions about? Hedge fund
literally
trading?
the whole goddamn Russian district of
Oh, okay, I've
Southern
done that.
Manhattan
Well, I've
is
audited
about
that.
the Southern. No, wait,
It's
hold on, I messed
fun.
that up. The whole Southern District
Derivatives.
of Manhattan is about how like,
Man.
and that means that hedge funds are going crazy right now. Hedge funds are going mad right now because they know that everybody in the Southern District of Manhattan is like shutting the fuck up and going, but what about Trump?
So
is it-
Kikamu asks, does anyone understand what's going on in Westworld this season? Are you guys been keeping up
Yes,
with Westworld?
yes, the
I've-
fucking
I've-
bots are
I've-
taking
Japanese
over.
culture,
This
that's
is
all I
what
know.
should all be scaring you. The bots
Stop!
are taking
Don't
over.
spoil it, Dirk! What the fuck?
No, this is
Well,
TV show
he
time.
asked
This
what was
spoilers.
happening.
Spoilers are abound.
Shogun Land.
Yeah, we're spoiling the fuck out of
Yeah,
this.
T-
The bots are taking
Put those
over.
headphones back on, Rain.
TV
Put-
time
put
equals
headphones
spoilers.
back on. Put them back on.
Dirk, Rain, not Dirk. Rain, have you never been a Rain? Have you never
Eileen
been around
has
during
not showed
open-
her
Usually,
breasts.
we usually announce spoilers, though. But granted, I'm in season
Have
1,
you
so I'm
never been
super
around?
behind.
You're in
during-
season 1?
Yeah,
Game
because
of Thrones?
yeah,
Then
it's
shut the
Westworld.
Well, the
fuck up.
commercial
Yeah.
has her in a kimono.
Just back off, back off, back off. Go take a shit.
What was that sound? Woo!
That was.
Look, I love you, but go take a shit. Because if you want to talk right now about that, about Westworld, it's like literally you got to go like knock one the fuck out.
Go ahead and spoil it for me, because I'll still
A
watch
shit
it.
or a fucking like bang
Westward
bang.
spoilers. All right, there you go. Now you go.
Guan Yasel.
No, it's like, look, Westworld this season, I think this season may actually be its best season yet because they have moved on to a different realm, right? Every fucking week, you don't know where you're going to come into it. Don't let this just be me speak.
Hold on.
I'm not
fuck
caught
you,
up.
really
I
out
just
there.
got to the
I
spoiler
have
of season 1.
No,
but...
I have to admit, Dirk, I haven't
It's like
watched
the first 2 episodes.
I haven't watched a TV show since Game of Thrones.
You
Have
should
you
watch
guys
Westworld,
watched
Jason. You
Friends?
should watch
What?
I'm
Westworld.
not lying. I'm not
1996.
lying. I haven't
Yeah,
watched
I
it.
watched Friends, man. That was my shit. Now we can talk.
Friends was like 20 years ago.
Friends in 1996, back when fucking Ross
Friends,
was going,
actually-
fuck yeah,
1996 was
Bush.
20 years ago.
Joey was my spirit
20.
animal all through middle school.
Joey was great.
Friends
No,
was
it's
20
like-
years
here-
ago.
here's
Was
the-
the
in the
season.
last-
And Seinfeld.
In the last 4 years, I've
Fuck
watched.
yes, Seinfeld.
Do you remember when,
Ass
when
man.
fucking, what's his name, got the fucking cum shot to the side of the head?
I didn't watch that porno.
Debbie Does Dallas?
No.
I
Moving
I
think,
was
on.
watching the. I was
Think
watching
of
the
that
Batman
little
parody.
short fucking Italian,
I think
like,
it- I think it was
quasi-English
like-
guy.
questionable
I think it was
porn,
called
Adam
uh,
Westberg.
Hot Blonde Gets Bukaki'd by Stallion.
I was
Something
watching
like
Backdoor
that. I mean,
Sluts
like, I've seen
Is
that.
Bukkake-
What
a
year are we
restaurant?
on right now?
I've seen
I could
that
totally go
one.
make a French bread pizza and come back and still be like, where are you guys
Wait,
talking about
hold on.
right now?
Is it Hot Blonde Gets Bukkake by Stallion #2? I've seen that
Wait.
too.
Isn't Bukkake a restaurant?
I hope not. I hope
It
not.
was.
is Rain,
He was
yeah.
an Iron
It's in
Chef.
Vegas.
I hope
Bukkake
not.
was an Iron Chef.
It's right
Rain,
behind the
you're such a
stratosphere.
fucking
Just
troll,
go
Rain.
behind there
Holy
and they'll meet
shit.
you.
Just imagine
Is
you.
Bukkake a restaurant? 11 missed calls from Grandma.
Just imagine
You laugh,
going
Rain.
to like
You
a
laugh, Rain. It's not that far
no,
off.
just imagine you going to a sushi restaurant and like, oh yes, what will you have? Like, I'll have the bukkake, and they're like,
yes, you will.
They're like,
Number one, if you're in New York, they just look at you and go, of course you will.
Jose, andale.
They might just be like, let me get the chef. And you're like, no, please. I was kidding.
Do any of you watch The Americans at all?
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm not caught up on this season yet.
No.
Okay.
Oh, if you're not caught up in this season,
I don't know.
I am
I think somebody
totally
gets me
fucking
and stuff.
sorry. Because
Oh,
one of the
okay.
rules we always had on this show, if you didn't watch it by this last fucking Tuesday, I am so fucking totally sorry.
Oh,
This
God.
coming week, this coming Monday, is the end times of the Americans,
Yes.
and there are a bunch of Pro God Legend is one of the big fans of this fucking show out there. I am one of the big fucking
I've yet
fans
to
of this
see
Yes.
show.
Pro God in the
moderator.
fucking
It's like,
chat.
I'm going to tell you right now, this should have been, had it been on HBO or fucking Stars or one of those channels.
Yes.
This would have been the fucking Sopranos of its time. But because it was on fucking
FX.
FX.
It
yes.
never
Okay.
it never
oh
made
shit!
it big.
But you know what? FX also had fucking Sons of Anarchy, so I can't hold it against fucking FX. Okay, it's like
FX has had a couple good shows.
What about Rescue Me? Rescue Me was pretty good too.
Rescue Me, exactly. Okay, it's like
just getting,
this
attacked
show
by
was
rabies.
fucking amazing. They fucking held this show together through multiple seasons based on the absolute fucking, cast that it had, the story that it had. I gotta be honest, my own age, I grew up during the 80s, so I totally understood everything they fucking had out there. Like, moderator must be sitting there going, why are people driving these old cars?
Hold on. It's 8 o'clock.
Derek, have you seen Happy?
No, it's
Hold
not. It's
on.
11
wait.
o'clock.
It's 8 o'clock. Dirk, it's 11
It's
o'clock.
11.
Is it?
It's
It's 11
time.
o'clock.
It's time.
Is
We gotta
drunk
close out.
Is Drunk Canadian with us right now?
He's with us in spirit.
Is that girl that used to
Yes,
do
he's in our
cooking
hearts.
shows on INN with us right now?
That was me.
Are you talking about pastry chef Tozy?
No, I mean like that
Julia?
girl before Drunk Canadian. Like,
Julie?
Julie? Yeah,
Yeah,
does
Julie.
cooking. Julie does like a lot of vegan cooking.
Judas Priest?
I know, but like,
what?
is she like doing a cooking show right now? Like, has
No,
anybody logged
but
in?
what I'm saying
Has
is, like,
anybody logged into INN like while we were on?
Dirk, we've talked about this. We have to end at 8.
We
Or
do.
11
we do.
for- 11
we can
for
either
you.
kick over to your channel or say to all these people out here, "You're not part of my base."
Well, that's the thing. Is like we've
Woke as
decided
fuck.
that at 8 o'clock or 11 for your time, we have to cut
No,
it.
let's
I
do
feel
some-
like I need
let's
to
do
do
some
"Make
goodbye
You Great
shots.
Again" fucking
We-
like
we gotta do
presentation
goodbye
out there in
shots.
Tampa
We
Bay.
Well, yes, we will, Rain. But like we have to cut it if we want to continue. We've decided if we want to continue, it has to be somewhere else because we can't do it here.
Speaking
What
of
if-
Tampa Bay,
what-
CCP is
What
gonna
if
be in
me and
Orlando in
Rain
a
right
couple
now
weekends.
did a fucking total like bottle shot?
Why not me?
Can we buy time? Can we
'Cause
buy
you're
time
not
if I
invited.
did a
Why not
bottle
now?
shot? You know what?
Two
Fuck this.
shots?
We're gonna do a bottle
Am I
shot
the-
and see
am-
what you do.
Am I the merchant?
Later, bitches.
I'm gonna do a bottle shot
I have
and
to
then
give a
close
shout
the
out.
stream.
I have to
Shots?
give a shout out
Bottle
before this
shots.
weekend
Later,
to
bitches.
Amaris for not kicking me out because I haven't registered my alt in ESI.
Wait, you're afraid of Amras?
Moderator, you wanna do?
No,
shots?
I just told him I would.
No.
You know what saddens me?
Moderator,
The
do a
number
shout-out.
of Imperium
I'll do
people
a shout out.
that we have in our audience
Alright, you gotta talk
that
over
don't
Dirk,
tell
let's
a
go.
friend.
I'll say yeah. Obviously, shout out to the whole AT production team. Shout out to myself, Vote Moderator, for the upcoming CSM. You'll
Do
see some more content from me in the next couple weeks now that I have not, time to deal with emergencies and finals. So look forward to that.
Moderator, can I ask you a question?
Go for
Are
it.
those cigarette boxes or bullet cases behind your head?
Neither. Those are train car boxes.
They're
Do you
what?
collect train cars?
They're like I've got like a model railroad in the basement of where I live.
How
I
many
gauge your
fucking
okay.
how many fucking
Wow.
hold on, all the
It's a
blue
model
ones,
train set.
all
Holy
the blue
crap.
ones.
I thought it
what
was
are they?
magic card packs.
Okay, prove to us that it's a train.
Go ahead.
Wow.
Moderator.
Holy shit.
Fucking train motherfucker.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
man.
Just so all you nerds out there know exactly that.
Right.
That's how it all goes
Drayden,
down, people. You don't start
Drayden,
off
we're
with
cutting
fucking
the stream.
spaceships in Eve.
Okay, but hold on. What?
No, we're not. We're not. We're not actually cutting off.
No, wait.
Dirk, remember what happens every other time we don't cut
Yes,
I know.
yes,
I
yes.
know.
But hold on.
And that's why I feel bad every fucking Saturday. I wake up like my Saturdays are always never again hashtag. Okay, and then I wake up and go, you know what? A week later, nah.
Yeah, but I'm the one to edit this stuff, and I have to edit out the extra stuff. But
All right,
anyway,
Jaden, let's go. We got
okay,
later.
we're gonna
bitches.
go. Hold on,
Why don't we do this? Why don't we do
No,
later,
Dirk.
bitches? Okay, all at once.
Drink?
Hey,
wait,
guess what?
Dirk. I was saying, we're gonna do a shot to conductor moderator.
Shot to mod for CSM.
Fucking conductor moderator. Can you imagine what his Christmas scene is like? I bet you it's magical. It's
Hey, Dirk,
fucking magical. I swear to God, I'm going to fucking moderator's house to
Alright.
celebrate Christmas this year.
Do it.
Dirk, what do you think about Jersey Shore?
All right. Shots.
Dude,
All right, shots.
honestly,
Later
I'm going
bitches,
to
never
Jersey
after my
Shore
show.
tomorrow,
Later.
so whatever.
Yeah.
Cut it,
Later,
Jaden. Cut it,
bitches.
Jaden.
Later.
Later, bitches.
All right, later, bitches.
Later, bitches.